Greatest of all teachers and giver of love, hope, faith, and wisdom, look upon your children, the teachers, learners, parents, guardians, and out-of-school youth and adults. We humbly ask for your mercy and forgiveness. Guide us to the right path. May our efforts be blessed with insights and understanding, wisdom and respect for all. Bless us with patience, for the path of learning is never easy. Bless our commitment to keep on learning new knowledge and experiences. Let your light shine upon us as we make our world a better place to live in. Amen.
Magandang araw! April Marcas po, ang inyong pretty ate sa EdTech Unit. Alam ba ninyo na may webinar o online training session ng EdTech Unit tuwing Sabado? Ang araw na ito ay nakalaan para sa ating mga mahal na kaguruan upang turuan sila ng mga bagong kaalaman at kakayahan sa paggamit ng mga bagong software at applications para sa pinaka-epektibong paraan at lubos mapagpusay ang kanilang paraan ng pagtuturo. This is also our refresher session for our beloved teachers to enhance their skills in technology. Every Saturday, we will conduct webinar sessions for teachers about the use, advantages, and relevance of different blended learning software applications. Ang webinar seryeng ito ay magsisimula ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali para sa morning session. Magsisimula naman ng alauna at magtatapos ng alas 4 ng hapon ang afternoon session. You can watch us in our DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel, DepEd Tayo, and DepEd Philippines. Kita-kits tayo tuwing Sabado!
Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS EdTech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Hello! Masayang umaga po sa inyong lahat sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas. Muli ako po si Teacher Mardy, nagbabalik bilang iyong host sa araw na ito. At meron po ulit tayong guest host na si Sir PJ. Sir PJ!
Ayan. Good morning, Edukalidad indeed. Good morning po, Teacher Mardy. At binabati ko rin po na magandang umaga, magandang hapon, at magandang gabi wherever you are in the world. Teacher Mardy, kayo po, saan po kayo nagbo-broadcast live ngayon?
Live na live po ako sa Las Piñas City. So sa mga nanonood po dyan na galing Las Piñas na tulad ko, hello, good morning!
Ako naman po
Kayo po
ay
ba?
very much live dito sa Quezon City, Teacher Mardy.
Quezon City, medyo north-south po pala tayo, no? So saan po ba ang
Oo.
gitna natin?
Yun na nga eh. At syempre, pinag-usapan natin ng North and South. Pag-uusapan naman natin ngayon, ang mga nandito ngayon all the way from, ayun no, kung saan-saan, di ba? Thank you very much for joining us. Nandyan po sila, May Tocante from Bukana, El Nido, Palawan. Ito naman po, galing sa YouTube, Teacher Mardy. Si Mark Edward Lugto, galing Mabalacat City, Pampanga. Ayun, no? So, maraming nagko-comment sa atin at please keep them coming kasi kami po ni Teacher Mardy ay babatiin po namin kayo all the way from across the Philippines.
At saka Sir PJ, alam niyo po ba, as early as 8:37 ng umaga, may mga
Yun, no?
bumabati na po sa atin. Ito nga
Mhm.
po, unang-una sa ating comments box, galing kay Teacher Ruth Barlongo. Good morning everyone watching here in Bagong Buhay Elementary School, CSJDM Bulacan. At
Yun.
sinigundahan naman siya ni Teacher Emily Bagasina. Sabi niya, good morning po watching from SDO Camarines Sur. So sila po yung ating top 2 dahil wala pa pong 9 o'clock, hindi pa po tayo live, ay talagang bumabati na po sila sa ating comments box. Kayo Sir
Ayun.
PJ, baka may
Hmm.
gusto pa kayong basahin sa ating chat box.
Ayun, kasi ako dito, north ng Metro Manila, pero babatiin ko yung mga talagang nasa north, si Bugoy Nolram, si Marlon Kubangbang ng Lawag City, at syempre nandyan din yung mga tiga Palawan, Limanang Kong, Tayay, District 3, si Ivy, Balintasayo, Gonzaga, at marami pa. So keep them coming, ha? Teacher Mardy, I understand you've been hosting yung mga Tech Talks po natin ngayon. Ano po ba ang topic, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong Sabadong umagang ito?
Ay, isa na naman pong kakaibang topic natin ngayon. Dahil ngayon, ang pag-uusapan natin ay daily tales of everyday people. Wow, di ba? Everyday people. Para makatulad lang po natin yan. So
Mhm.
gusto po nating marinig ang insights, ang mga experiences ng mga ating mga educators nitong nakaraang taon na kung saan nagsimula sila ng pandemic, no? Kung paano sila nag-cope, kung paano sila nag-survive, at definitely kung paano sila nag-succeed sa kanilang
Ayun.
everyday challenges na
Amen.
kahit ano man mangyari, lalong-lalo na tayong mga Pilipino, no, Sir PJ,
Mhm.
hinding-hindi tayo magpapatalo sa kahit anumang problema dumating sa atin. Tama po ba?
Yun,
Laban!
exactly. Tama. Quarantine lang yan, lockdown lang yan, Pilipino kami. Summer lang yan, Pilipino kami. So speaking
Mainit
of
man.
summer, di ba? Speaking of quarantine, working from home, or modular learning, or blended learning, in the thick of summer, kamusta ka naman, Teacher Mardy? Mainit ba dyan sa Las Piñas? At paano ka nagko-cope ngayong kainitan, Teacher Mardy?
Alam niyo 'no, dahil sa sobrang init araw-araw at work from home araw-araw, siyempre hindi naman puwedeng mag-aircon araw-araw, kung hindi lagot naman ako sa nanay ko, 'di ba? So, electric fan lang Sir PG, at napakadaming
Mm.
yelo. So, every day,
Yun.
every night, gabi-gabi yelo, maiiwan ako ng tubig sa freezer namin para kinabukasan may pangyelo ako sa kape. 'Di na nga ako makapagkape ng mainit Sir PJ. Ang kape ko palagi, naku, punong-puno ng yelo. Kayo
Iced
naman?
coffee na pala 'no, tama, oo. At saka ngayon, yellow is life 'no? Ang best friend mo ngayon yung refrigerator mo.
At
So
saka
stay
electric
hydrated
fan.
everyone, at saka electric fan, tama 'yan, Teacher Mardy. So ayun yun ang tanong natin sa comment section, hindi lang po kung saan kayo galing and where you are watching live, at kung kamusta diyan ang init sa inyo, at sa ibang araw pong lugar medyo may mga pag-ulan at pagkulog. So sana all. Hindi, joke.
Sana
So ako
all.
po, oo, 'di ba? So ikaw naman, how are you coping, Teacher Mardy, sa work from home or sa modular learning at sa new normal na ito na nagiging standard na talaga, Teacher Mardy?
Dahil nga po more than 1 year na po tayong palaging nasa bahay, work from home. So talagang ang only way na lang po para mag-cope ako is magtingin ng mga pictures ng beach. Kasi dahil ngayon, hindi pa rin po ako nakakapag-beach, no? More than 1 year na, hindi man lang po ako makalanghap ng sariwang hangin galing sa tubing dagat. Hindi man lang ako makakanta ng, sa tabing dagat
Oh,
tayo. Diba? Hindi talaga eh.
'di ba?
Kayo ba,
Tama
Sir
'yan 'no?
PJ?
Ayun na nga, kaya nga 'pag binabasa ko yung mga comment section ta's nakikita natin kung saan kayo galing, 'di ba, nakakainggit, eh. So sa Kawayan, 'di ba, ang tagal ko na hindi nakakapunta sa Kawayan na bumabati si Novi Acosta. O 'di ba, mabuhay ka rin Novi ha. At tapos nakasulat naman dito, at least malapit lang kasama sa NCR bubble si Ryan Vincent Cruz na bumabati galing sa Barosuain Memorial Integrated School ng Malolos City, Region 3. 'Di ba? Pero pag nakikita ko 'to, yung mga bati nila Dina Batadlan, galing daw Davao City sa Tungkalan Elementary School. So ako napapasana all, sana makapunta ako diyan again soon, 'di ba? Para makapag-beach, makapagpunta dun sa mga mountain tops nila, 'di ba? Makalanghap ng sariwang hangin. Kasi tayo, 'di ba? Kagitnaan ng summer. Ito yung dapat na nag-explore tayo, nagbe-beach tayo, nagpapaitim tayo. Pero hindi. Nandito muna tayo in the meantime, and hopefully soon na makakalaya rin tayo, Teacher Mardy.
Gusto ko po yung sinasabi niyong makakalaya rin po tayo. Yun talaga eh. Wala na po ako ibang masabi kung hindi. Tama, tama, tama po lahat ng sinasabi niyo. Bawat salita tumatagos dito sa aking puso.
Tama po yan. At yun nga po, marami pong bumabati sa atin, no? Si Josephine Javier Fragata, siya raw po ay galing Cagayan. Aba, may kainitan talaga dyan, no? So, yun po, sundin po natin yung sinasabi ni Teacher Mardy. Yellow raw po, at saka electric fan to cope. Tapos si Alma May kasabay naman ay sa Nueva Vizcaya as well. May mga kasama naman tayo dito sa NCR, si Christopher Prospero, galing sa Caloocan City. Tapos, ito naman, si Aurora Lazaro. Ito po, napakaganda. Babatiin po tayo ni Aurora Lazaro. Sabi, hi Teacher Mardy, hi Sir PJ. Nakakahawa ang mga ngiti nyo. Good morning, teachers. Ay, thank you very much. Nakakataba ng puso yung mga ganyan, Teacher Mardy, di ba?
Oo nga po eh. Medyo, ay, natuwa naman ako.
Tama. 'Di ba? Siyempre. At saka siyempre nga naman, 'di ba? Ngayong Sabadong ito, dapat medyo relax na 'to. So, let me and Teacher Mardy bring these smiles to you. At saka relax tayo. Hindi tayo magtatrabaho ngayon. And I understand, Teacher Mardy, magiging very entertaining, no? At hindi lang educational. Talagang matutuwa tayo sa session ngayong umagang ito. Tama po ba, Teacher Mardy?
Tamang-tama ka po dyan dahil talaga namang ito ay isang session, open session para sa ating community of learners. Alam niyo ba, Sir PJ, dahil every Saturday nating to ginagawa, marami na po talaga tayong nabuo at napag-sharean dito sa ating mga every Saturday session. So marami na kaming mga naririnig ng mga comments, mga insights at mga feedback ng ating mga teachers na nanonood every Saturday sa atin. Kaya nga sabi po dito ni Teacher Lala Naval, sa mga katulad po namin na coffee is life. Yes, coffee is lifer nga po eh. Hot or cold, basta kape. Kailangan yan everyday para mabuhay sa ating work from home. Kaya ipagpatuloy lang po natin ang pag-inom ng kape araw-araw. Meron nga rin po nagsabi dito, si Gush Landar, sabi niya, ako sir ma, mga 3 years na hindi nakapunta sa beach. Haha, maybe next year, malaya na tayo. Ipagpatuloy po natin ang pagdadasal at wag po nating tatanggalin ang hope sa ating mga sarili. Dahil baka nga, latter part of the year, makalaya na tayo at patuluyan na tayo makapag-beach. Basta sulong lang po mga kapwa-educators.
Tsaka talagang Teacher Mardy, nagamit na natin yung no? Lalaya talaga tayo.
Lalaya talaga tayo.
Mm.
Kahit
Kasi
anong mangyari.
of course, talagang by hook or by crook, lalaya tayo. Ito nga tinitingnan ko muli yung mga bumabati sa atin. Talagang nakakainggit eh. At saka talagang nakaka-motivate. For example, ito si Rosalinda Fabia, watching from Pangasinan sa Mangaldan daw, sa Embarcadero. Doon, magaganda yung mga beach doon eh. Ito naman, si Judith Bustos Pingol, watching from Santa Maria National High School sa Minalin, Pampanga. Tapos marami nga tayo dito, mga tiga-Aklan, tiga-Bukidnon, tiga-Davao, and so on and so forth. So, ngayon, question. Teacher Mardy, personal to, ang tanong ko sa inyo, after this pandemic, let's say bakunado na tayo and safe to go out, ano yung mga unang gagawin nyo?
Ay, ako talaga beach. Beach is
Yun.
life talaga. Kasi
Mhm,
beach
mhm.
tas may kape. Hello, mga nagkakape po dyan. Good morning! Cheers! Beach
Talagang cheers.
talaga, Sir PJ.
Okay, may particular lugar ka ba na beach or particular resort na gusto mong puntahan or area para yung mga nanonood sa atin dito, pwede kang abangan yung tipong talaga mag-beach party tayo. Meron ka bang any idea doon, Teacher Marty?
Sir, alam mo kasi na yung sabi 'di ba, yung Boracay nag-clean up before. So hindi pa
Mhm,
talaga ako nakakabalik at para
mhm.
makita yung panibagong Boracay look. So dun ako naku-curious kasi 'di ba parang ang tagal niyang naisara. So gusto ko siyang balikan. So sana please naman, please.
Please talaga may ano, vaccines, sana all. Okay,
Sana
so
talaga.
So Boracay ha, tama, very
Mm.
goals 'yan. So ang tanong din natin sa mga teachers, kapagka nagbukas na ang ating ekonomiya, nagbukas na ang, natanggal na, na-lift na yung mga lockdown and safe na tayong lumabas, ano yung mga unang gagawin niyo? Keep on coming dito sa comment section para mabasa natin 'yan, oh, 'di ba? So, sabi nga ni Miss Zarina Dalus, coffee while beaching. Aba, saktong-sakto sa mga goals mo 'yan, Teacher Marty, 'di ba? Tapos ito,
Oo,
sabi
sir.
ni Maria Catherine Carmen, kahit po malapit sa aming ang Boracay sa Aklan, tiis muna. Safety first before pleasure. Amen. O, diba? Tapos lastly, ito si Vange Fuego naman, watching from Cuyo, Palawan. O, diba? Ah, nako, ako pag nagbukas talaga tong ekonomiya natin, nagbukas na dahil safe na lahat, Teacher Mardy, ang una kong gagawin, eto, simple lang. Pupuntahan ko yung mga kamag-anak ko, pupuntahan ko yung mga kaibigan ko, ihahag ko sila at saka ibebeso ko sila, tas may picture. O, di ba? Para talagang post-pandemic yung picture na yon.
Ay, gusto ko
Yun agad. Oo.
yan.
Di
Selfie,
ba?
ang tagal na natin hindi nakapag-selfie, 'di ba, sa
Oo
mga
nga.
mahal natin sa buhay. Buti na lang nga po ako, blessed ako na
Hmm.
yung family members ko, magkasama kami sa bahay, tsaka magkakalapit lang po yung bahay namin. So, hindi kami
Ayun.
hiwa-hiwalay sa iba't ibang
Mm.
parte ng NCR. So, kaya
Yun.
naman kahit paano, nagkakakita pa rin kami kahit
Mhm.
daan-daan lang muna sa mga streets ba, gano'n.
So yun, in the meantime, Teacher Mardy, para lang mayroon tayong notion of being normal. Sige nga, mag-appear nga tayo dito online, mag-appear para
Ayan,
kunwari
dito,
maski
dito,
virtual
ayan.
lang. Ayan. Ay, sige.
Ay, dito ba?
Sandali, sandali,
Paano
para
ba? Ayan,
sige, yan, yan, yan. Para,
one,
okay, one, two,
three,
three,
two, three.
go.
Sir PJ, ang hirap talaga 'no 'pag
Oo,
online.
diba? Oo nga.
Hindi ka talaga makapag-sync, 'no? Pero at least nafi-feel ko na nag-appear tayo kahit papaano. Medyo ang lakas nga, eh. Ayan, oh,
Mm.
ayan. Ramdam kita pala QC papuntang Las Piñas. Yung energy mo ba, Sir PJ, yun yung mahalaga dun, naramdam ko.
Yan, okay. Tapos ito nakakagaan ng loob 'no, Teacher Mardy, tama yung sinabi niyo nga kanina, hope, 'di ba? So ang sabi nga ni Jamie De Vera Bornolia, ang una niya raw pong gagawin ay magsisimba para magpasalamat kay Lord. Si Lala Naval Esquivel naman ay dadalaw agad sa Mamang sa Rizal.
Ah,
Aba, talagang mga goals 'no, simple lang. So dito natin makikita na yung mga goals pala natin are not the big things but the little things. And the little things, those are the what truly matters in life, Teacher Mardy. O, 'di ba?
tama, tama ka po diyan. Yun po talaga yung mas hinahanap-hanap ng ating mga puso, hindi yung mga material na bagay
Mhm.
na sinasabi natin, I want." Pero yun
Mhm.
pala dahil sa pandemic na 'to, na-realize natin, what I need is just me,
Hmm,
my family, and
ayun.
my sanity. Mga ganyan, sir, 'no?
Tama yung mental health, oh, 'di ba, tama.
Oo.
At saka siyempre minsan pagsabayin na rin natin kung meron kayong mga I want, i-add to cart na 'yan.
Oo, at hindi yan salamat Shopee.
Hmm.
Kung hindi, salamat self.
Ayun, 'yan, oh, 'di ba? So sana all, sana all. At saka ano nga,
Sana all.
maganda nga ngayon 'no, at least we are coping, Teacher Mardy, 'di ba? Merong mga streaming sites, 'di ba, maski nasa bahay lang tayo, we are entertained. We have video conference like this na maski hindi natin nakakapiling ang mga mahal natin sa buhay, ay nakikita natin sila. And that's the next best thing, 'di ba? At saka even hindi natin nakikita yung mga kaklase natin ngayon, mga amiga natin sa school, o 'di ba? At least nakikita natin sila virtually or nararamdaman natin sila sa mga messaging platforms, so on and so forth. So ngayon, Teacher Mardy, ang tanong ko sa inyo ano na so far ang mga natutunan mo sa mga past sessions ng Tech Talks natin, Teacher Mardy?
Alam mo sir, sa lahat talaga, sa bawat Saturday session na nagdadaan para sa ating Tech Talks, yung mga natututunan ko, yung paano ka magko-cope ngayon para sa
Mhm.
future, madala mo
Mhm.
yun lahat. Na yung learnings
Yun.
mo ngayon, kahit na nandito ka lang online lang nakikinig ka, mahalaga yan at importante. Dahil once matapos ang pandemic, full na magagamit natin lahat ng
Mhm.
natutunan natin. So kahit patsi-patsi man yan, unti-unti man yan per session, pero pag tinignan mo siya in a bigger perspective, sa isang microscopic lens, ang dami mo na palang natutunan na ma-apply mo pagkatapos ng
Yes.
pandemic.
Tama yan, no? Kumbaga hinahanda actually tayo nitong quarantine na to, nitong lockdown na to become better persons post-pandemic, di ba? At saka tama yung sinasabi nyo, simple lang yung mga sessions natin, pero pagkatapos ng session, naiisip ko, ang dami pa lang naituro sa akin, no? Yung talagang, di ba, dati noon, hindi natin masyado pinapansin yung mental health. Kumbaga, nandyan lang siya, di
Mhm.
ba? Hindi natin iniisip yung emotional intelligence, nandyan lang siya. Pero ngayon, those are things that really matter pala, no? And again, ako, excited na ako I am taking this lockdown time, this quarantine time, Teacher Mardy, to better myself. Para nga pagtapos ng lahat ng ito ay talagang humanda kayo sa PJ 2.0.
Gusto ko yan. Baka nga,
Mhm.
di lang 2.0, kung hindi,
Mm.
4.0. O, di
Ayun, o 'di ba?
ba?
PJ 3000, Mardy 3000, o 'di
O,
ba?
di ba?
Mala Iron Man.
Tama kayo dyan. At
Mm.
dahil dyan, alam niyo po, may tatawagin po tayo ngayon dahil isa rin pong napakalakas ng kanyang energy na magbibigay sa atin ng isa pang napakalaking, napakasiyang good morning sa ating lahat na nanonood dito sa Tech Talks. So may we call our Education's Project Manager of Microsoft Philippines, Miss Grace ko, ang nag-iisang Tita G ng bayan. Miss Grace?
Hi Mardy, hi PJ, hi good morning. Grabe naman talaga ang kaya ko bang tapatan yung energy ni Mardy at PJ. Di pa ako nagkakape, dala ko lang ay pamaypay kasi napakainit. 'Di ba? So, ayan, good morning everyone. Good morning po sa lahat ng ating teachers who are watching us live this morning. Good morning din po sa of course, sa aming partners po sa EdTech Unit, no. Ito na nga ang last session natin for the month of May. And yun nga, I think we've been running Tech Talk since February. So maraming salamat po sa partnership, no, sa EdTech Unit for, bringing us or for giving us this channel for us to also connect with more teachers in the field. Gusto ko na rin pong batiin at this point lahat po ng ating mga Microsoft Education Ambassadors. Na alam ko po halos every week nandito rin po sa ating Tech Talk series and actually nasa chat box po natin yan sila bumabati rin po at tumutulong po kapag may mga katanungan lalo na kapag nandun na tayo sa section nandun na tayo sa part ng ating talk na nagte-training tayo. So, yeah, gusto ko lang din i-echo yung mga kinikwento ni Mardy at PJ earlier. Actually, today's session is medyo medyo mas relaxed siya kasi relaxed in a way kasi feeling po namin makaka-relate po kayo because we are actually highlighting everyday people in our session today. So, I think lahat naman po tayo in this, wala po exception, lahat po tayo nitong pandemic, lahat talaga tayo ay napilitan na itawid ang ating mga everyday jobs at saka ating everyday life. But I think we were able to survive because we were actually, really doing our best to innovate, to also find ways for us to actually adjust and eventually adapt. So we're bringing you this session today to also, let you know that we have everyday people who are experiencing the same things as you. At just like what we always say every week sa ating mga sessions, hindi po kayo nag-iisa. Itong webinar na session na ito, isa lang po sa mga paraan upang makatulong din po kami at makakonect po sa inyo na sakasakali lang, kailangan nyo ng extra help, extra inspiration, at extra tips for you to get going. Ma-share po namin yun sa inyo. So hopefully, ma-share nyo rin po ang session natin this morning sa mga fellow teachers nyo, pati na rin po sa mga kasamahan nyo. Kasi nga, we are highlighting this week na ayun mga kwento po ng mga aside po sa kwento ng mga teachers pero kwento po ng isang parent no, kung paano nga po sila nag-adjust this pandemic na yun nga aside from being a teacher, syempre kailangan mo rin i-manage yung mga everyday life mo as as a parent, as someone working. So hopefully po mas mapalagana po natin ito. Sakali na po hindi nila napanood tong ating live session today. Yun, so abangan niyo po yung session natin later. Now, kabiglang po ako konti sa conversation kasi I would like to take this opportunity. So para po sa mga nanonood na mga educators across the Philippines this morning, meron po kaming announcement from Microsoft. So lagi po namin kinikwento yung Microsoft Education Ambassadors Program po namin. Actually, kung nanonood po kayo dito sa EdTech Unit every Saturday sa hapon, sila po yung nagli-lead ng ating My TechTalks series. So it's a community that Microsoft has built wherein we work with selected educators, we train them, and then we continuously upskill them. And in turn, sila po ay talagang committed din po in empowering and reaching more and more teachers and students here in the Philippines. This year, particularly next month, sa June, we are opening the applications to the Microsoft Education Ambassadors Program. This is the first time that we're opening it in a long time dahil tulad din po na nangyari sa atin na antala din po ng pandemic yung aming application sa program. Kaya hindi po kami nakapag-open for the past 2 years. And then finally, we're opening it now. And in partnership po yan sa Department of Education, sa office ni Yusek Alain, and of course, supported po ng ICTS natin ng EdTech Unit at ng User Support Division. Abangan nyo po ang registration links. It will be cascaded down sa mga specific regions nyo at sa Facebook page ng EdTech Unit. So, abangan nyo po yan. Hopefully, mas marami po tayong makikilala na bagong Microsoft Education Ambassadors this year. So, balik na po tayo ulit ngayon dito sa ating session. Again, hopefully, magustuhan niyo po yung session natin today. And as always, no, we love hearing from you. We love hearing your comments and we love see you interact in our comment section. So keep them coming. And I wish you all a very, very beautiful Saturday morning. And I will now turn it over back to PJ and Mardy.
Yan. Thank you po, Miss Grace, sa inyong morning greeting sa ating mga viewers this morning. So, thank you very much po sa very inspiring na inyong mga sinabi sa ating viewers. Sir PJ?
Thank you po, Miss Grace. And babalik po tayo sa mga comments po ng ating mga teachers, no? Kasi nga, again, multi-platform tayo. We are very much live on Facebook at saka YouTube. Ang sinasabi naman po ni Miss Aurora Lazaro, ang una niya raw pong gagawin ay natawang-tawa po ako dito. Rarampa ako sa school mula ground floor to roof deck and kakaway-kaway sa mga students and co-teachers. Social. Kung merong Miss Universe, ay meron siyang Miss Teacher of the Year. Diba? Miss Teacher post-pandemic. At saka ito po, Teacher Mardy, nagme-message po yung nanay ko all the way from San Jose, California. Pinapanood niya po tayo. At ang tanong niya sa atin, alas 9 pa lang, PJ and Teacher Mardy, nakakailang kape na yata yung energy nyo. Alam nyo, excited lang po ako, Mama, kasi nga, again, Sabado ngayon and marami tayong matututunan. At syempre, kasama ko yung mga teachers from all over the Philippines at napaka-energetic at napakasaya rin ng aking co-host na si Teacher Mardy.
Tama naman. Ako rin po, very honored po ako na maging co-host nyo for this morning. Sino naman makakapag-isip? Wow, Sir PJ Lanot, co-host, Miss Teacher Mardy. O, diba? Parang never ko naisip na possible pala ito. At maraming salamat, DepEd ETU, for making it possible. Ayan.
Yeah.
Pa-thank you, diba? Ayan.
Ayan, at saka, I'm sure na-excite na ang ating mga educators. And ako, excited na rin ako. So, ano ba ang in-store sa ating ngayong umagang ito, Teacher Mardy?
Ayan. Thank you, Sir PJ, at naitanong mo yan. Dahil para sa ating unang speaker sa araw na to, ang topic na pag-uusapan na ay accepting and adopting to the new normal of education. So, di ba napakabigat? Accepting and adapting. Dahil siya po ay nakapagtapos ng doctorate degrees in education and community development, and she finished several units for her third doctorate in public administration at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She also earned her master's degree in development management. Likewise, she graduated with double bachelor degrees, one in communication and one Bachelor of Laws. In 2012, She went to New York, USA, where she was given the opportunity to visit and observe K to 12 classrooms. She has been a teacher for more than decades now and has been with Rex Bookstore since 2005. So hindi lang po siya teacher, isa rin po siyang author. O, diba? Fascinated with listening to reading, and writing children's stories, ayan na naman, yung puso ko na naman ay naaantig dahil ako po ay isang preschool teacher nako. She saw the theater stage as an avenue to tell stories. This molded her into becoming an inspired and animated storyteller that allowed her to empower children and adults to use their imagination and bring their hearts to the magic of telling their own tales. So very powerful po talaga yan. So talagang excited na ako na makilala siya this morning. A theater artist, community worker, corporate speaker, but what makes her the proudest is her being a wife, mother, and faithful believer. Let's watch for and not watch out for para kay Dr. Annabelle Sim. Isa naman pong virtual palakpakan dyan. Dr. Annabelle Sim, please.
Yes, wow. You know, the positive vibes and the energy, of course, they are highly communicable this morning. So maraming salamat. It's always, such a blessing to be surrounded with enthusiastic young people. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Good morning to my fellow teachers here, to the parents and learners who will be sharing with us this beautiful, meaningful morning. Thank you also, of course, to the organizers for making this meetup possible. We have webinars every now and then, and who would have imagined that the used to be inside the hall seminars would land on FB Live, right? Have we accepted the new normal of education? Does our attendance here signify that we have already adapted to the new normal of learning? Have we adapted to cope with the change? Or have we adopted to cope or to win the change? Ang dami kong tanong, ano? So, yeah, please, huwag po kayo mahiya to make use of the comment box. Kasi this is my way of, convincing myself that I am not alone here, not doing a monologue here. Okay? But you are reacting there. So, kung sakali man, tanungin kayo, what is that one thing that you so miss about going to school? Pwede niyong i-type dyan, okay? So we witnessed how the COVID-19 crisis has actually forced school closures in almost 200 countries and disrupting the learning process of around more than 1.7 billion children. That's according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD. Okay, our very amiable Sir Franz perhaps can start sharing my slide presentation. Hindi pa man, Sir Franz, maraming salamat for helping me out with my slide presentation. Okay, so while he's trying to share it, some teachers perhaps, ako in-anticipate ko na, some teachers with the first year of online teaching perhaps got quite confused as to how classes must be facilitated. So storytelling as a strategy was somehow missed. Virtual reality, in education would tell us that from the cave of long ago to the clicks of online teaching, people learn better through storytelling. Science says that it actually works. Stories create empathy, personal meaning, not just clicking that drives engagement. So similar with what I would usually do with my online classes, I would use storytelling as our strategy this morning. Our short cerebral intercourse today, I believe, is something that is planned and made in heaven. So let's make the most out of it. Ito yung kwento natin. Kwento nating lahat ito. Sir Franz. Okay. Our story is entitled, kasi nga magkukwentuhan tayo, umaalalay kahit naguguluhan. May ano pa yan, may second deck pa yan, kahit kinakabahan at walang kasiguruhan. Okay? This title would reflect the commitment, the resilience and perseverance of Filipino teachers and parents who are willing to go beyond their usual roles because they hold tightly to the belief that an educated community can bring about a progressive country. We believe that life goes on. It must go on. Education has to proceed despite the uncertainties. The characters in our stories Of course, we have parents, educators, learners, and the most famous global ano to phenomenon, ang ating antagonist is COVID-19. Okay? So what are the different parts of our story? We are going to start with the real normal. Explain ko mamaya bakit siya real kasi ito lang ang tanging normal na alam nating totoo. Ito yung normal na we grew up with. Okay? And then we accepted as real and normal. And we have the new normal. Okay? Ito yung ngayon. It's new and we would like it to be called normal. Otherwise, we would all feel the misery, that this pandemic has brought to our lives. And eto ha, we are going to have a peep into what is to come pagdating ng next normal. Okay? So friends, I don't know kung tama yung term na next normal. I would like to call it the true normal, pero hindi natin alam kung may false normal pa na darating. We might as well call it the next normal. And of course, we are going to end our story with our lesson. Pasensya na ganun ako ng ganun. Binibigyan ko ng signal si Sir Franz to give a click, okay? Thank you, Sir Franz. I know how challenging your task now, ano? So we are going to end our session with our lesson of the story, okay? So once upon a time, okay, let's start. Sir, okay, once upon a time, when everything was as real as normal, learners go to school because of their teachers, favorite classmates, or they just simply love learning. And of course, parents, natutuwa na ako sa kakaganon ko. And of course, parents go to work to provide for the children's needs, especially for their education. And then, of course, teachers, they share intimate learning interactions with the students in the classroom. And ito nakakamiss. Teachers get to enjoy meetings, Sir Franz. Teachers get to enjoy meetings, faculty meetings, team buildings, and lunch breaks with each other. So, ano nga ba ang nami-miss natin tungkol sa pagpasok sa school? What do we miss most? Okay. So sige, maraming mga proud student dito na nagme-message, oh, see, imagine dito pa tayo nagkita-kita. Okay. So, Sir Franz, although during that time, everything seems to be perfect, alam naman natin, meron pa rin naman tayong complaint. Hanggat tayo ay tao, we will never run out of things na to rant about. Okay? So, these, of course, complaints na to would make our story, Sir Franz, much more exciting. Okay, Sir Franz? Sige, Sir Franz? So, every now and then, I would be reading dialogues, and I just want to inform you that these dialogues came from real people, from interviews I made, from the news clips I watched, and from the news articles I read. Okay? So, totoo ito. So, sabi ng mommy dito, I need to get up early so the school kids can have their breakfast. I need to have time to bathe them, dress them up, then bring them to school. I am not complaining. Oh, yeah, she is complaining. Okay? So, I want to have time for myself. So tired of housework. But if we will go back to these complaints, during that time, we will get to realize namimiss na natin itong mga complaints na to. We also miss smiling at other parents who also bring their kids to school. We miss saying hi to teachers, bringing food and gifts during Christmas parties, and just enjoy. We miss enjoying life without the face mask, the face shield, and the fear of going out. Sa totoo lang naman, para maging kampante tayo at ma-relax ng konti, teachers still teach now. And learners still learn naman. But what we miss the most is the social aspect of school. Okay, tama ba yon? So let's continue. We also miss the reasons, why some people would decide, or some couples, some parents would decide, let's have the dialogue, would decide to bring their very young kids to school, parang bata pa para pumasok sa school. Kasi nga, it is better to bring our kid to school where a teacher can look after him while we are both at work. Oo nga naman. And the teachers, of course, are the best caretakers of their kids. Teacher fulfill this function with a glad heart and overflowing affection. We don't really mind at all, ano? So sabi nga ni Arden dito, school life is possibly the best phase of life. Sabi niya, it is the school is the place which gives us lots of first experiences, including our first love, perhaps, where we met our first best friends, okay? Mga inosenteng panahon when we get to appreciate everything, no matter how small they are. Okay? So next. And sino ba namang hindi makakamiss? Okay? Sir, yan. Yung problema ng mga magulang tuwing umaga, yung the struggle to wake up kids as early as 6 a.m. for them not to be late and not to miss the flag ceremony, usually at 7:15 in the morning. Surely namimiss din ng mga bata yung uniform nila, carrying their heavy bags, and enjoying recess with classmates. Okay? So, nakakamiss. Sir Franz, of course, ang mga teachers din natin, hindi naman everything is roses and bright and beautiful during the real normal time. Marami din namang nagre-reklamong teacher. Oh, why have I joined the academy? I could have joined the BPO industry, or I could have opened a business. I need to go to school regularly pag teacher ako. I need to be in the classroom before my scheduled time. I need to prepare my lesson plan, assist kids when they need help. Can I just be somewhere else doing something else without leaving the comfort of this sofa? Oo nga naman, because, teachers are also human beings. They get tired, but it doesn't mean they will stop. Sir Franz, teaching remains to be the noblest of the profession. Prior to COVID and especially during this COVID time, mas nakakapagod ang online teaching actually. But after a day of interaction with the learners, we all feel fulfilled. Pag nagpasalamat ang mga learners before they leave the classroom, we feel rewarded. Okay? Sabi nga nila, ang teaching daw ay parang first love. Hindi makalimutan, di maiwan-iwan. In fact, some teachers even married their profession. Okay, true love sa kanila ang teaching. Next, please, Sir Franz. Lockdowns were declared in March of 2020. Some schools were about to close the school year back then. And several months after that was the opening of classes, which did not happen anymore. It is just so refreshing to imagine yung back to school na image natin dyan. It's so refreshing to imagine the excitement of kids and parents also to shop for the school supplies, okay? And of course, the start of the school year, the first day in school, seeing classmates after the school break perhaps is one of the sweetest moments in the school. But of course, Sir Franz, even before the pandemic, there were already problems in the education system. But of course, the global coronavirus pandemic has worsened the struggle. Isang araw, a virus monster came in. Sabi nila, it was a laboratory leak which paved the way for it. Meron namang nagsabi, nakuha daw mula sa animals. Okay? Whatever it is. When it came, napakatahimik. And we were just quite surprised or shocked. So, this is the part of the story when nandito na yung conflict, okay? That day in the Philippines, I'll never ever forget kasi nasa Bacolod ako noon. January 30, 2020. That was a month after China reported pneumonia cases of unknown cause in Wuhan. The Department of Health confirmed the first case of COVID-19 in this country, in our country. The first COVID positive was from Wuhan, who arrived to the Philippines from Hong Kong. So, of course, the education sector is one of the sectors most affected by the crisis because of the lockdowns it caused. As a result, the online learning platform began to operate, and as the best way to continue with education. Although, tandaan natin there was no training that could have prepared teachers and parents to teach in the pandemic, education must go on. Sir Franz, kaya mula sa classroom filled with the laughter and noise of the students to this lonely, vacant room. The Philippines was surprised. Hindi, gamitin ko na term mas appropriate, I guess, is the Philippines was shocked. We lagged behind the other countries in terms of availability, affordability, reliability, and speed of internet access. In fact, before this day, I have been so anxious. I prayed so hard that brownout and poor internet signal would spare me today so I can be with you. So internet connectivity and technological literacy have become more crucial in the country. Kaya nagpapasalamat talaga tayo sa Microsoft Philippines, nagpapasalamat tayo sa DepEd for sharing every Saturday para may matutunan tayo about the technology. So maraming salamat, and it's even for free. Okay? Sir Franz, eto na. Ang pagdating ng monster brought a lot of complications. Okay? Hindi na sana mag-enroll mga anak ko, wala kaming wifi, wala kaming gadget, Sir Franz. Nagbabayad kami para makakonect sa hotspot ng kapitbahay, pero mahina pa rin ang connection dahil ang dami din daw nakikiconnect sa kanila at may bayad yon. The unforeseen challenges, of course, started to unfold. How many have internet access? How many families have available gadgets? With more poor families than the rich ones, online classes seem to be very challenging for most of the Filipino families. We have witnessed how some learners would climb trees, walk on their foot to reach places where connectivity is stronger just to make it for their online classes. How does resilient characters, yung mga characters natin, parents, teachers, and the learners, how did they deal with the challenges? In my case, sa totoo lang, gusto ko sana naka-on cam lahat ng mga bata. Kasi may mga bata, they would just sign in sa online class. And then, kasabay no, nag-online games sila. Okay? But of course, I understand that some of them, yung bandwidth nila is very limited. So I would allow my students to put off their camera. So, para hindi masyadong mag-consume ng bigger bandwidth. But with this setup, sabi ko nga, most of the time, nararamdaman ko, I'm just doing monologues during class discussion. Are they still with me? Or did they just sign in and went on with their online games? Mabuti na lang, I'm one lucky teacher. Kasi kahit hindi ko sinasabi, my students would start giving comments sa chat box ng aming ginagamit na platform. And they would ask questions, kahit minsan, nagjo-joke sila sa isa't isa. And, kahit pa paano nararamdaman ko, may mga buhay, warm bodies on the other side of the earth na kasama ko ngayon, dito sa monitor, dito sa platform na to. So, yung isang teacher naman would record herself. Talagang nire-record niya ang sarili niya habang nagdi-discuss. And then she would send the link to the class FB page so they can view it anytime the connection would be stable. So para sa lahat ng mga estudyante, anytime that they are available and then malakas ang signal, pwede nilang mapanood yung kanyang discussion. So although the learners, of course, alam natin, all the learners were very excited and thrilled about online learning at first. Kasi they will not go to school, di ba laging ganun? Pag may bagyo, lahat nagsasaya kasi walang pasok sa school. But then, of course, this excitement is slowly faded after some months. Now, how did parents respond to help their children deal with the new setup? I would be sharing yung mga nakakwentuhan ko kung ano ang ginawa nilang strategy. This is on the parents' end. Sabi dito, to inspire my son to take his online, balik tayo, Sir Franz, to inspire my son to continue with his online class or para magkaroon siya maging serious siya sa kanyang online class, I fixed a study space where his learning materials like tablet, headphones, books, notebooks, and pens are put in place. Inspirasyon to ng homebodies Okay? So maraming nabubudol na mga nanay para ma-set up yung yung lugar ng kanilang mga anak. I also stay closer during his online class to make sure that he's listening to the teacher. So, umpisa lang nyo gawin yan, ha? Pero wag naman katulad ng mga memes na habang nag-online class yung anak nakabantay yung nanay na may hawak na pamalo. Wag naman natin gawing masyadong terroristic ang approach natin. Online learning might become a trauma for our kids. Okay? Yung isang magulang, sabi niya, ganun pa rin ang oras ng gising ng anak ko, 6 o'clock. I maintain the waking time of my daughter. I bathe her and let her wear her uniform as if she's going to school. Meron din daw siyang recess, meron din daw siyang rest time. Okay? Itong isang nanay naman, piniprint daw niya ang schedule ng kanyang mga anak at pinupost niya sa kanilang mga working table. This will help them remember exam dates and stay on track. Okay? Yung isang nanay naman, sabi niya, I always check my kids' GC or email for assignments and performance tests. I need to let them feel that they are not alone, that I am here to make sure that they comply with requirements and learn well despite the setup. This is what I love the most. Mga kasamahan ko to sa Couples for Christ. Sabi niya, I and my husband agreed on setting a good example to our children by staying calm and positive. We promise to create a supportive environment, especially that online learning is something new to them. With all of these anecdotes, I would say that this time really is the best time for teachers and parents to work together to make things really work for the children. Sir Franz, I am sharing here to everybody splices of, sige lang, pwede nang ipakita, Sir Franz, splices of a long post from an FB friend who is a math teacher. Yes, I asked for her permission before including this in our presentation, and she said yes with a happy emoticon. Sabi niya, sa totoo lang, napakadali lang naman talaga desisyonan na ibagsak na lang mga bata na walang paramdam. Yung mga batang hindi nag-attend sa online class. Pero sana na itanong mo muna sa sarili mo. This is addressing to another teacher. Kasi advisor itong teacher na to. Pero sana na itanong mo muna sa sarili mo kung nagawa mo na lahat ng pwede mong gawin para matulungan ng mga bata. Kasi kung hindi pa, anong karapatan mo para ibagsak sila? Ganyan din tinanong ko sa sarili ko palagi bilang guro. Nagawa ko na ba ang lahat bilang guro niya? Kapag hindi ang sagot, then anong karapatan ko para ipasa sa kanya ang kakulangan ko? So napakahirap para sa ating mga guro ngayon ang sistema ng pagtuturo. Pero ganoon din naman sa mga bata. Ayaw na din natin sana ituloy ang pagtuturo ngayong may pandemya. At gayon din naman ang gusto ng mga bata. Lahat tayo nagulat, nabigla at napasubo na lang sa ganitong sitwasyon. Walang may gusto nito, walang nakapagplano na darating ito. But we would like to say thank you to DepEd because DepEd responded right away. It whipped things into shape and came up with yung most essential learning competencies natin and the preparation of modules. Modules were immediately prepared. Yes, they are not that perfect, but they helped reach learners from far-flung areas that internet could not reach. Unlike before, ang mga magulang ngayon would stand in a queue. Ang mga teachers naman, naghahatid ng mga modules sa mga estudyante sa bahay-bahay ng mga bata. So ngayon din, ang mga parents need ninyong i-assist ang mga anak nyo with concepts that are quite complicated. But we understand some parents are also confused. Not all of them are educated. So hindi lang yan ang naging challenge ng mga magulang. Another COVID effect, ang haba nitong part na to ng storya natin at puro mga disasters, okay? Another COVID effect is on the economy that affected Filipino families. Sir Franz. Okay. Ano po yon yung sa PSA, yes. Ang PSA conducted a survey and it bared that, this is a February survey, and it bared that 9.1 million Filipinos experienced being temporarily or permanently laid off during the pandemic. Pero ang good news naman, of this number, 6.9 million were once again employed. Okay? While, ito yung masakit, 1.2 million remain jobless. There are over 1 million who are not in the labor force. but also experience being laid off. Ito yung mga nagninegosyo. Okay? Napakabagsik ni COVID. How will now parents respond to the financial demands of online learning? Okay? So let us see. Next, Sir Franz. COVID actually paralyzed everything. Schools operation, maraming nawalan ng trabaho, but the main characters of our story, ang mga magulang, teacher, at learners, remain strong and unbreakable. Sir Franz, online education costs so much. So anong ginawa ng ibang mga magulang? Maraming mga magulang ang nag-online selling, pati mga halaman binibenta na. May mga umasa sa community pantry, mga artistang namigay ng mga tablet, ayuda mula sa gobyerno just to ease the burden and challenges kahit papano. Alam natin it will never be enough. Bakit magastos ang online education? Of course, the additional cost for electricity, the internet provider, and gadgets needed. Just try to imagine if there are 5 siblings who needed to be online every day. How many gadgets must the parents provide so they can all attend to their classes without disruption? If parents aren't earning, how will they provide? I read of a story where a teacher, meron akong nabasa online, invites poor neighbors to her home para ma-share niya yung kanyang internet signal for their online classes. And there are barangay halls and churches that open their doors to share their internet with learners who can come by for their online classes. Thank you, Lord, at may mga ganitong mga hakbang na ginawa para makatulong sa mga hindi maka-afford ng internet, stronger internet connection. At this part of the story, COVID might have been very famous, very damaging also, but the main characters remain strong and fighting. Okay, Sir Franz, sabi dito, education for a few is not education at all. But we are trying to make sure that nobody would be left behind. Kahit maliliit lang na mga pamamaraan, if we could help, tutulong tayo. At nangyayari naman ito. Okay? So, next please. What about the learners? Gusto nating malaman what are in their thoughts. Sabi, touch was lost, missing my teacher's scent. Yes, wala nang baon, walang recess, walang laro after class with classmates. Napakabigat ng dahilan ng batang to, no? At first, I was happy with online class as I don't have to wake up so early to travel to school. Siguro malayo yung bahay sa school. Now, I feel sleepy all the time doing the same online class again and again. Baka talagang antukin ng batang ito, no? But we understand also. Kasi nakikita ko rin sa anak ko yung inaantok siya minsan sa online class niya. My teacher's connection is so poor that she almost speaks like a robot. I don't understand discussions anymore. Naiintindihan din natin yan. I also interviewed some learners and here are their statements, ha? Sabi dito, I so miss the traffic going to school. Oo nga naman. Sabi nung isa, while my class is online, I am on my online games and the teacher does not even know. Akala nyo lang hindi namin alam, pero alam namin. Staying home with my siblings and parents caused lots of conflicts and altercations. Unlike before, when we only get to see each other during the night and during weekends. Pero ngayon, 24/7 magkakasama sila. So, mas marami ang chance na mag-away-away sa family. So, we recommend emotional distance every now and then pag medyo umiinit ng ulo ng bawat isa. Sabi ng isang bata, I get so lonely not being with my classmates and friends in school. Sabi dito, the face-to-face setup is different. You can feel the love of your classmates and teachers. Young as they are, we can teach them that today is the best day. It is what we have at the moment. If we continue to wallow because of the days that we missed, we will end up miserable. Sir Franz, I guess isa pang issue that brought about by this pandemic is issues on mental health. This, of course, alarmed teachers like me. Okay? Now, anong ginawa natin? Medyo i-flex ko lang yung naging accomplishment ng mga estudyante ko. Lahat kami nangangapa sa dilim. Okay? And then, of course, considering the competencies na dapat ma-address sa subject, the class decided to stage Pandemia. So friends, Pandemia, this is a 3-day event. Parang it's a magazine show, meron siyang singing, may dancing, may mga infomercial. And we were quite surprised with the support of the family members. Marami kaming nabenta ng mga link. We just give out oo nga, speaking in the reality is the real teacher. Yeah, that's right, Sir Rolly Pondo. Okay, tama nga rin. Sabi ni Ma'am Marites Noces Ariola, hirap po talaga ma'am, lagi kong problema ang internet connection. Kung ilang beses na laging nawawala out ng out. Okay, hi, Charles Cedric Gomez. Sige. So, I love you also, Carrie Ann Langit. So, itong pandemya na to, yung proceeds niya, nilagay namin sa gumawa kami ng parang kunwaring foundation. Ito siya, Sir Franz. This is the compassion. Anong nangyari dito? Yung pera namin, pinahiram namin sa mga estudyante na ang mga parents nasa abroad, na-delay ang mga padala nila because of the pandemic. So pinautang namin sila na walang interest. Yung mga wala talagang pambayad, binayaran namin ng tuition fee nila. Okay? So may sobra pa kami. Biglang nakikita namin sa IFB, may mga binaha, nasunugan, nag-share din kami doon. Sometimes iniisip ko, ang sarap lang sa pakiramdam ng bata. You yourself needed help, but here you are, extending help to other people. This is developing self-worth for all of them. Okay? And then ngayon, meron kaming nilaunch na, Sir Franz, this is Hello Self. Okay, this is an FB helpline na kung saan the learners can express their struggles and get help when needed. Kung gusto lang naman nilang mag-outpour ng nararamdaman nila, it's all right. Okay? Kung hindi nila kailangan ng advice, pieces of advice from us, we won't give. Minsan kailangan lang talaga nila mag-unload. Okay? So, yan, findex ko lang, and sabi ko, I'm just one lucky teacher for having students in my class na very creative, tech savvy, and of course, they have this authentic love for the others. Nakikita ko, they love helping others. They love loving other people. Okay, so let's continue, Sir Franz. So teachers because of need, started getting themselves acquainted also with tools and platforms that can aid them in their teachings. Suddenly, bigla tayong natuto sa mga, we suddenly came up with a rich tech vocabulary that we developed. Terms such as, may GC kami, may messenger room kami, blended learning, hybrid learning, distance learning, synchronous, asynchronous, yung Teams, quizzes, Kahoot, class marker, became words of mouth for all of us. So one good thing about meron akong itong naka-flash dito is one way of cheering up students and encouraging them or motivating them to keep on studying, to keep on attending online classes. Yung kapag mataas ang score nila, ilagay mo sa GC. Okay? Can we, another one, Sir Franz? Pakibasa na lang po. Ito po yung mga, checking them, trying to find out what's wrong with them. Ito po yung sa pandemya, yan yung summary ng mga naipamigay sa mga bata. Maliit lang po ito within our community lang, but hopefully, yung mga small steps like this would be able to sana magkaroon ng yung the ripple effect, sana other would be contaminated as well. Wow, parang meron akong mga from Tarlac here. Meron akong mga kakilala from Tarlac na nandito. So I'm also from Tarlac, but I'm now in Pangasinan. So sige, tuloy-tuloy tayo. One good thing about the platform that we use for online learning is that nung araw kapag face-to-face at may maingay na bata, you say na, please keep quiet, tone down your voice. Pero ngayon nakagandahan sa online platform, pag maingay ang bata, I can just mute the child. Okay? So hindi na masyadong mahirap ngayon ng pagdidisiplina. Okay? So for my students to stay focused to the discussion, I always encourage them to make the chat, yung sabi ko, the chat box alive with their comments, okay? At saka, iba yung confidence na nararamdaman mo kapag teacher ka. When you get to use a tool, tapos college student ang ang mga estudyante mo, and you see that they are in awe, alam pala ni ma'am yan kahit matanda na siya. I consider it a very big achievement, to get to learn something new. I needed to embrace technology. Pero, paano ang mga senior teachers? Sir Franz? Okay. Sabi nitong teacher na to, nung sinabi nila na mag-online na kami, 3 weeks akong nagkasakit. Dahil sa stress, ano ang gagawin ko? Di ako marunong. Sabi, sandali, I have to read this. Sabi ni Ma'am Marites Noses Ariola, real experience, ma'am. Student po na nag-attend po ng online class, pero pagdating po sa pagpapasa ng activities, di po sila nagpapasa. Pero yung pinakamaganda po, very active sila sa pagre-recite. Yeah, that is what is so beautiful about you, Ma'am Marites. Kasi may mga negative kang nakikita, pero magpasalamat tayo, may mga positive pa rin. So talagang it's maximum tolerance. Ako, sorry pero magko-confess ako sa inyong lahat. I've been teaching for the past 27 years. And hindi ko alam, but I'm sure a lot of students are terrified whenever they hear that their subject would be under me. Kasi nga, nagkukumpit ako ng grades, kaya talagang may mga bumabagsak. Pero ngayong online learning, medyo nag-adjust ako ng sobrang laki. Okay? So, anyway, sinishare ko lang. Senior teachers, of course, struggle with online classes. Meron akong kilalang teacher, This is the first time for him to conduct online classes, in his 40 years of academic service. Of course, nakako-conscious, na bumabagsak ang confidence. Sabi nga, I am a teacher, so I should know what I'm doing. And a teacher must know a little of everything. Okay? So with the Philippines' slow and intermittent Wi-Fi internet connection, the teacher must be ready for interrupted classes and dropped students. Okay? Yung dropped students, yung bigla na lang mawawala. One might think his or her delivery is getting on smoothly. Okay lang po ba ang boses ko ngayon? Kasi sometimes iniisip ng teacher, nagsasalta ako, malamang naririnig nila. But at the student's end, there may be occasional time offs, parang robotic ang dating, naglalag ako. There were instances when, there was an instance when there should be a group presentation, and I know that my students really prepared for this. Unfortunately, when they start sharing their presentation, naglag sila. At nakikita ko yung itsura nila na they are so disheartened. So immediately I needed to do something. I needed to assist right away by asking students to send me the drive link so I can open their presentation and share it for them. I guess this is saving the moment that could have disappointed or disheartened these students. Thank you, Ma'am Liberty Carrion, for saying that it's really clear. Okay, so another challenge, of course, for teachers, sa palagay ko makaka-relate kayo, is to build rich activities to keep students engaged. Sabi natin, lessons must be meaningful, memorable, and inspiring. They must be presented in bite sizes, easily digestible, approachable in tone and in feel, and of course, dapat fun. I often ask students to submit self-assessment kapag may group activity. And of course, they also maintain their own group GCs. May class GC kami, may group GC din sila. So when they perform, they have to have their, when there is a production, kailangan meron silang peer assessment and group assessment as well. Kasi ang hirap mag-assess ngayong online learning, okay? You must know that, okay? So next, Sir Franz. There are insights here. Ayan. Sabi ng mga teacher, ito naman coming from the teachers. I like online learning better. It gives me the opportunity to discover what difference can technology bring to my students' learning experience. So, Sir Franz, nakakapagod ang online learning. Gusto ko nang mag-repair. Minsan ayoko nang maniwala dyan kasi I've been saying that for the past 5 years. Pero sabi ko nga, first love never dies. You will always come back. Sabi dito, no F2F classes for me after experiencing the magic of online learning, especially for my Gen Z learners. Okay, bata-batang teacher siguro ito. And then here, Another one, Sir Franz? Mahapdi sa mata ang maghapong nakaharap sa monitor. Yes. Kaya nga pwede tayong pagpunta sa optical shop, palagyan natin ng anti-radiation. Masakit sa likod ang maghapong nakaupo. That's true. Kaya lang may mga ergonomic chair ngayon. May nakita ako sa Shopee and Lazada, parang nasa 2,500. Kung medyo may budget, merong 16,990 and maganda siya sa likod. Okay? So, ganun talagang gagawin natin. Gawan natin ng paraan. Okay? So, sabi ko nga, assessment is one of the most challenging aspects in online learning. Lalo na imagine ha, magpapa-class marker ka. Minsan nagpapa-quizzes ako, kaya lang pag matatanda na yung mga bata, hindi ko alam kung may enjoy nila ang quizzes. Okay? So, ang problema is that there might be subject na kailangan mga objective, direct objective measurement tools. Of course, proctoring a test is impractical and exams are necessarily on an open everything basis. Kasi habang nag-exam sila, they can open other windows. So, ang hirap or nasa likod nila yung nanay nila. Or kung hindi naman naka-on ang camera, yeah, I love it. Sa first time daw na mag-online teacher, pero laban lang. And we love this kind of disposition. Okay? So, ang sinasabi natin is that it is not easy to discriminate student scores because of the wealth of reference materials that are available online. Minsan nga, sabi ko, baka parents na o kaya mga older siblings na ang nagtitake ng exam. Ito pa ang isa sa mga challenges. Okay? Sir Franz? Dati, ang daming bago ang nakaka-excite. Pero ngayon, ang daming bago ang nakakabahala. Alam naman natin, there was an outpour of students coming from the public schools, students coming from private schools na nasa public school na ngayon. So maraming mga private na probationary teachers ang nawalan ng trabaho, pero marami din namang kinailangan na teacher ang DepEd. Okay? So will there be an end to these uncertainties? With all the effort coming from the main characters, will they defeat COVID and go back to the sweet old ways? We are now moving to the next part of our story. This is the time, nangangarap tayo ha. Okay, now, this is the time when the earth is COVID-free. How would it be like, Sir Franz? Okay, this is the next normal. The earth is healed from COVID. I would like to present to you this Pew Research, PEW, Pew Research, which is, okay, please pakiintinding magbuti ha. This is a non-scientific canvassing based on a non-random sample. Ibig sabihin, the results represent only the opinions of the individuals, pero mga experts itong mga to, who responded to the queries. And these, of course, yung mga findings are not projectable to any other population. So, ang mga respondents natin, there are around 915 innovators. May mga developers, may mga business and policy leaders, we have researchers and activists who give their views on what life would be. Or, mga kailan kaya totally malilinisan na ang buong mundo? Kailan daw? Sabi nila, 2025. Pero kahapon, may nabasa ako, 2030 na daw. So sige, maging mas positive tayo, 2025. Okay? Itong mga respondents came up with broad and nearly universal view that people's relationship with technology will deepen as larger segments of the population come to rely more on digital connections for work, education, healthcare, daily commercial transactions, and essential social interactions. A number of these respondents would describe it as, Sir Franz, ang ating next normal is the tele-everything world. Okay? 86% pala of the respondents said that the pandemic will bring about some kind of change. May negative, may positive daw. So most said they expect the evolution of digital life. It will continue. Okay? Pero sabi nga natin, may positive, may negative. We have a very long comment here. Ayoko siyang mapaalpas. By Sir Lyndon Jamer Dadulia. sa online teaching, isang paraan ko sana na ma-assess ang bata ay magsuot ng headphone. Ang nangyayari ay mas matalino ang family members ng bata. Nakikita ko sa screen ang bata na naka-headset pero di pala nakasaksak sa phone ang cord. Kaya pala nasasagot ng bata ang mga tanong ko kasi nag-coach pala ang mga magulang sa likod ng phone. Lahat naman tayo may mga blunders. There were instances also ako, salta ako ng salta. Buti na lang, mababait ang mga estudyante, ma'am, please, unmute yourself. Di ba? May mga ganun tayo talagang instances. Okay. So, Sir Franz, since we are in charge of educating the citizens as teachers, I am addressing this one to the teachers. Pakiramdam ko there must be a need for a redesigning of our curriculum to align to the demands of the next normal. The jobs that will be available are likely to change kasi digital na talaga. So, and the academy must prepare the next professionals on this kasi baka hindi sila handa. Okay? So, during a webinar on May 21, the dashing, brilliant CHED Commissioner Prospero Popoy de Vera na napaka ngayon controversial. Sir Popoy was my professor when I was still at UPNC PAG. Magaling yan. He said that flexible learning will be the norm. At the tertiary level, this is school year 2021 and the years thereafter. So, nagkakatalunan ngayon, maraming mga student group ang nagre-react. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na tayo magbabalik sa face-to-face. Alam niyo naman ang problema ng bansa. Sabi ni Sir Popoy, flexible learning is a policy where universities and colleges are given the authority to determine the correct mix of delivery systems appropriate to them. What does that mean? Itong mga learning institutions na to must deliver education based on the condition on the ground. Ano itong mga conditions on the ground? The health situation in the place, the condition of the students, faculty members, and of course, yung mga empleyado, and the condition of connectivity and gadgets. Okay? So, hindi naman niya sinabing, pero mukhang wala naman din talagang magka-face-to-face unless na malinis na talaga ang mundo. Okay? Ito a robust marketplace of education choices. Parang magsha-shopping na lang ang bata kung ano yung menu na ano sa kanya kasi personalized na eh. So, we have also virtual schooling. Noong araw, we were discussing about yung critical and creative thinking skills of the students. Kailangan i-develop natin yung 5, critical thinking, decision making, reasoning, ano pa ba yung mga reasoning, there are 5 of them, okay? Kasi nga, para sumabay sila sa demands ng 21st century work na naghihintay sa kanila. Merong nagtanong na teacher, ma'am, do you think that the time would come na mawawala na ng trabaho ang mga teacher? Ito yung susunod natin, okay? So, kasi with virtual schooling, I'm thinking of avatars or holograms. Eh. Okay. So, sige, let's continue, sir. Tama-tama, no? Yan. Threats to work will intensify. It means to say, maraming mga, ang alam ko noon, there would be clerical jobs. Alam mo yung routinary ang trabaho. Like sa bangko, matatamaan ng mga yan. So, maraming mawawalan ng trabaho because of automation. Okay? Now, ang tanong, mawawalan ba ng trabaho ang mga teacher? I guess they are irreplaceable. Okay? Pero ini-imagine natin baka ibebenta na yung mga videos per subject. I really do not know. But let us pray. Pero ang alam ko, hindi pwedeng palitan ng mga teacher. Kasi kahit online lang, mula lang sa boses ng teacher, ramdam mo yung touch niya that a robot cannot do. Okay? Or can function, similarly. Okay? So the same Pew research that was conducted states that in order to survive, businesses are reconfiguring systems and processes. Kaya kailangan magtanggal sila ng tauhan kasi papasukan na nila ng AI or artificial intelligence, robotics. This will enhance their business. Ang mga experts, I have to mention this, experts forecast the creation of 3D social media systems that allow for richer human interaction, sometimes via hologram avatars. Okay? And then, we are going to have a flying internet of things. Ang mga drones, mga malilit na planes, will become more prolific in surveillance sa paghuhuli siguro sa mga criminals, exploration, and delivery tasks. ano yon, the flying internet of and other necessities. Drones will transport specimens between buildings on hospital campuses, and they will move prescriptions between drugstores and homes. Baka yung mga modules natin ipapadaan na rin sa drone para hindi na tao ang nagmo-move sa kanila. Okay? Now, wala tayong hindi ko alam kung ito yung ending natin. Uncertain pa nga eh. But with the peep into this research that was done by Pew Research, kahit papano, binibigyan na tayo ng enough opportunity to prepare ourselves. It looks like online learning will be still there. So, sana magkaroon pa ang DepEd at saka ang Microsoft Philippines ng maraming tech talks. So we can bring in more teachers into technology at hindi na tayo na insecure dahil mas batang tinuturuan, baka mas magaling pa sila sa atin pagdating sa technology. Sir Franz, we are now moving to the lesson of our story. What do we need to learn from our story? Patuloy pa rin tayong, wag mo na Sir Franz, patuloy pa rin tayong aalalay kahit medyo naguguluhan, kahit wala pa rin kasiguraduhan. The struggle is real, but the resilient us will give this COVID-19 a good fight. Steven Spielberg's Bridge of Spies. Gustong-gusto ko to. This was written by Matt Shaman and the Coen brothers. Repeat variations of the wise exchange between characters. Ang tanong natin ngayon, Sir Franz, aren't we worried? Ang sagot din natin, would that help? Okay, now is the time for a more scientific and analytical approach. As the physicist Marie Curie said, nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Gustong-gusto kong i-share ito sa inyo by Max McKeown. Adaptability is about the powerful difference between adapting to cope and adapting to win. Kanina, when I started at the onset of my presentation, I asked, are we adapting to cope with the change or are we adapting to win the change? Of course, yung answer nasa inyong lahat. Okay? So, Sir Franz, maraming salamat sa mga nakijoin. There are several comments here. We have technology is only the tools, but teacher is always there to connect. Of course, maraming hindi naman kayang gawin. Ang technology naman ay medium lang to get to our learners. Okay? So maraming salamat sa inyo. We have here mga references, Sir Franz. If in case you would like to read more about the things I said, nandyan lahat yung mga sources. Okay? Now, I don't know what's next. You might want to ask questions, or you might have anticipated questions at gusto nyong sagutin na ngayon dyan. Okay, thank you. Nakatulong daw ang webinar, kaya maraming salamat sa organizers nito. Although ang medyo toxic ang schedule, I immediately said yes to them because I was anticipating that there would be more teachers sa platform na to na pwede nating ma-reach. Okay? So, are we moving to the question and answer now? Okay, so sandali lang ha, I have to check. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you also. Yeah, so Lala Naval Esquivel, salamat. Nako, Liberty Carrion, you just placed me on cloud 9. Napakaganda ng pagpapaliwanag. Yes, maraming natutunan. Maraming salamat. Ganito kagagaling talaga ang mga Filipino teachers. Meron ako nakita na sa US na headline. Filipino are the best. Filipino teachers are the best in the world, but they get the smallest. Pero that makes the profession the noblest also, right? Okay, sige.
Doktora, magandang umaga po at maraming salamat po sa inyong talk. At ako po personally, ang dami ko pong natutunan, and looking at the comments, hindi lang po mga educators ang na-attract natin dito, pati mga estudyante rin po ay nag-tune in sa inyo. Talagang maraming salamat. At ako rin po bilang isang educator at isang estudyante rin, nakaka-relate po ako sa mga sinasabi nyo, lalong-lalo na yung mga kanya-kanyang diskarte ng mga students, di ba? Nagmo-multitask habang nakikinig sa klase.
That's
Tama po
right.
yan, Doktora. Okay po, I think we are moving forward na po with our question and answers. So sa mga nanonood po sa atin dito sa Facebook at sa YouTube, please keep the questions coming para po ma-address na po ni Doktora ngayon. Teacher Mardy, how about you? Ano yung mga salient points na natutunan mo sa talk ni Doktora?
Gusto ko yung yung shinare ni Dr. Sim na about din sa teacher friend niya, yung math teacher friend niya. Yung question na tinanong niya doon ay sa sarili niya na parang sabi niya, nagawa ko na ba ang lahat bilang guro niya? And then, anong karapatan ko para ipasa sa kanya kakulangan ko? So, di ba, napaka-inspiring no, na dapat talagang tignan mo muna yung sarili mo na kung ikaw ba, tinanggap mo na ba yung sitwasyon, na tinanggap mo na ba itong pandemya na ito, na hindi siya magbabago kahit anong gawin mo. At from there, doon mo talaga ma-share kung paano mo rin matutulungan yung mga estudyante. So from there, no, Dr. Sim, dahil doon sa parang turning point na yon, naisip ko rin, parang gusto lang din pong itanong sa inyo, paano nyo po i-convince yung sarili nyo na how will I move forward dito sa pandemya na ito? How will I transition to the new normal? Na syempre, bilang 27 years na guro din po, di ba? Sobrang tagal nun. Two decades, almost 3 na. So, paano nyo po yun sa sarili nyo rin minotivate or inaccept yung challenge? And ano po yung mga advantages na nakita nyo nung in-embrace nyo po yung nangyari sa ating new normal?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, di ba sabi ko, for the past 5 years, I have been talking about my retirement already. But then, of course, marami. Una, na-excite ako sa online learning. And I just felt excited also about the thought of me not traveling to school to meet my students. I just really wanted to give it a try. At saka ako naman talaga, dahil kahit matanda na ako, I love exploring, lalo na sa technology. And another reason is that, mabuti na lang, itong time na gusto ko na talagang mag-retire, napunta ako sa batch ng mga estudyante na ang gagaling. You know, I could not just get out and miss the opportunity to grow with them also. So naging napakalaking bagay din ng mga estudyante. And of course, siguro dahil sa tagal ng pagiging teacher, yung malasakit mo sa profession, mas lalong dapat maipakita ngayon. Walang iwanan. Okay? So, siguro kung kailangan na mag-aral ulit ako, mag-explore, para I'm not saying that I'm a perfect online teacher. Marami pa rin akong sa assessment. Marami pa rin akong gustong ma-explore, matutunan, para maging mas reliable at accurate ang assessment ko sa performance ng mga estudyante.
Ayan, thank you. Nagulat ako doon, Dr. Sim, yung sinabi niyo, yung first na sagot niyo, excited. Kasi parang sa unang pagkakataon, napaka-positive nung naging unang thought niyo, no, nung naging online lahat. Kasi parang usually, hala, paano na, di ba? Parang lahat ng mga naitanong ko parang gano'n na parang ang hirap, sobrang daming gagawin, hindi alam kung paano mag-move forward. So, positive po ng naging outlook nyo na talagang nakaka-inspire din po para sa akin. How about po kayo, Sir PJ? May mga gusto po pa ba kayong itanong kay Dr. Sim?
Yun na nga po eh. Thank you very much for that. Kasi po, number one, I will ask this question in behalf of the commenter na si Lyndon Hamer Dadulia. Ito po, may mga suggestion daw po ba kayo or best practices kung paano daw po mag-a-assess ng learning online? Paano nyo raw po malalaman na talagang totoong may natutunan itong estudyanteng ito at hindi lang po sinagot nga, di ba? Of course, maski perfect ace o 100%, hindi naman natin malalaman talaga kung sila yung sumagot. Paano daw po natin malalaman na natuto raw po talaga yung estudyante? Again, best practices nyo po, personally, Dr. Sim.
Okay, inaamin ko naman, sa area na yan, I'm still exploring. Pero maganda yung idea ng project-based learning. Okay, and assessment. Kami nga, yun yung ginagawa namin. At the end of the school year, meron kaming production. So, syempre, may rubrics doon. And then, I allow, may grade sila sa akin, pero may grade din sila sa isa't isa. So, I promise them, syempre, whatever grade you give to your classmates. Itong huli nga, parang meron akong core team, I ask them, 3 best members, okay, 3 worst members. From there, makikita ko yung participation nila. And I do my exam on a certain platform. Doon sa platform na yon, may time limit. Tapos, madidetect niya kung dalawa ang gadget na naka-open. Kasi may natuklasan ako, nag-exam yung bata, and the older teacher is also taking the exam with him. Kasi nga under time pressure. Easy-zero talaga siya ng nung system. So ano ko yun. So, and I would tell them na please, let us be honest. Ang akin naman is that as long as you attend, sorry po pero as long as nag-a-attend ka ng klase ko, kahit mababang exam mo, bibigyan pa rin kita ng chance na pumasa. Talagang ganun hanggat wala pa tayong mga naka-establish talaga na sistema. Maging yun nga, let us be much more, hindi ko naman sinasabing tolerant, maximum tolerance. Let us extend compassion and mercy. So I guess as a teacher, mararamdaman mo naman kung ang mga bata ay siniseryoso nila lahat ng ginagawa nila.
Tama po, tama po. At saka ito po, ako, personal, and dagdag ko rin po na question from Teacher Mardy, no? What motivates you? Kasi nga po, di ba, nabanggit niyo po, you've been teaching for so long and you are used to this certain platform, tapos biglang all of a sudden, pwede naman po kayo mag-retire, pwede naman po kayo mag-focus na doon sa authorship, pwede naman po kayo mag-focus sa studies nyo, pero bakit nyo pa rin po tinuloy, maski extra hard, at patuloy pa rin po itong new normal na ito, Dr. Sim?
It's so difficult to explain kasi parang pag-ibig. 'Di ba? Kahit lahat na nagsasabi wag, pero that instinct in you, gusto mong gawin, masaya kang ginagawa. And ako nga, nag-practice nga ako Nag-leave ako for how many days. So, iniba ko ang routine ko. Namimiss ko ang mga estudyante. Namimiss ko na magturo. And I just want to keep on learning also kasi kahit matagal ka nang nagtuturo, what you know fills you, but what you do not know still fills the universe. So habang nagtuturo ako, natututo pa rin ako. And I guess malaking bagay ito, baka lalo akong tumanda at ma-stress kapag all of a sudden mag-withdraw ako from teaching. Siguro unti-unti lang. Pero ngayon parang mas lalo akong naiengganyo na magturo.
Yan. Wow, spoken like a true teacher, Dr. Sim. I love that. At ito nga po Teacher Mardy, meron po tayo mga comments dito na sinasabi ni Vanessa Carla Hermosa, daw, sa kanila raw po, ang best practice daw po nila, lalo na po sa mga college students, pinag-oral examinations kadalasan para on the spot, di ba? Mahirap mag-coach. Talagang actual na estudyante yung sumasagot.
Totoo. At dahil dyan, may question pa po tayo from Teacher Marites Ariola. Sabi niya nga po, how about yung mga bata na nag-a-attend ng online class pero di nagpapasa ng activities? Ano po best approach na gagawin sa kanila?
Okay, here. Actually, kapag hindi nagpapas ng activity or kahit nakamiss lang ng 3 consecutive na online classes, tinatawagan ko po sila isa-isa. Or pinipm ko sila. It is time-consuming. But I guess, the mere fact that your teacher called you or sent you a message would make them feel you are important. And I guess, yung oras is worth it. Okay, so talagang kailangan mo iparamdam na you care. Kailangan mo iparamdam may malasakit ka kaya ka nagtatanong. At sana mag-submit ka ng activity, anak. Talagang ganun Hindi iwasan hanggat maaari ang magalit. Wala mo ng terror online teacher ngayon kasi nga yung mental health ng mga bata.
That's very good. Yun po yung yung coming from the fact na yung sinabi nyo nga po, yung shinare nyo kanina, yung math teacher po na colleague nyo, 'di ba? Gagawin ang lahat, 'di ba? At the absolute best and covering all bases para talagang to make sure na matuto kayo. Kapag hindi raw po nagpapasa, tatawagan. Kapag ka nakakamiss ng classes, tatawagan. Napakaganda. So, reminder po yan sa lahat ng mga educators at lalong-lalo na po sa mga estudyante, ha? It goes both ways. O, diba? Thank you po for that answer. At talaga ako po na-motivate po ako dyan. At saka natanggal po yung pagkaka-dishearten ko paminsan-minsan kapag kami mga ganyang estudyante, Dr. Sim.
Yan. Tsaka tama po na-realize ko nga na now more than ever, ito po talaga yung oras para makipag-connect tayo. Lalong-lalo na we are always, alam po yun, napakalayo po natin sa isa't isa. So, a simple message ng hello, kamusta ka naman dyan? Talagang iba yung impact nun sa ating mga puso at lalong-lalo na po sa ating mental health. So, thank you for that, Dr. Sim. Sabi nga po dito ni Teacher Rolly, inspirasyon po talaga kayo, Doc.
Ayan, amen. Di ba nga sabi nga po nila, Dr. Sim at saka Teacher Mardy, maski high-tech ay dapat pa rin ay high touch. O, di ba? Hindi pa rin mawawala yung personal touch maski tayo ay nagko-communicate through other online or virtual platforms. Okay po. So, tuloy-tuloy lang po ang ating question and answer. And I understand, Teacher Mardy, pupunta tayo sa isang platform no para makita natin kung ano pa ang kanilang mga katanungan.
Bago po muna tayo pumunta doon, gusto ko lang po tawagin si Miss Rubelin para naman po ibigay ang ating appreciation para po sa binigay sa ating discussion ngayong araw ni Dr. Sim. So, Miss Rubelin? Sir Madge po pala. I'm sorry. Sir Madge? Para po sa aming napaka-heartfelt appreciation sa inyo.
Yes, hello po. Good morning. And again, wow. Wala akong masabi. As in, very inspiring. And kita naman natin at nabasa naman natin sa mga mensahe ng ating mga online participants this morning. Talagang nakaka-inspire ang story ni Miss Annabelle. Very candid yung, alam mo yun, parang nag-storytelling nga. May nabasa nga ako, parang nag-storytelling ng life si Ma'am Annabelle at talagang hindi niya mapigilan at hindi niya talaga yung headphones niya na matanggal. Kaya buti na lang daw at nakapagkape siya at naka-ready na yung coffee niya. So talagang I myself sobrang mas na-challenge ako na gawin ng role ko as a teacher na na-mention ni Ma'am no na talagang we continue to learn, to continue to learn new things, to embrace nga itong nangyayari sa atin. And katulad ng sinabi ni Aristotle na talagang educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So damang-dama ko yung heart ni Ma'am Annabelle today. So thank you so much, Ma'am. At matatanong ko nga kanina, Ma'am, nag-artista po ba kayo? Kasi parang mukhang artista si Ma'am Annabelle. Yung sabi ko ba sa inyo yun?
Ako naman, bigla akong nahiya. Ngayon ako naratog. Ngayon ako kinabahan.
Yes, yun po. At talagang sobrang thankful po kami. So with this token po, sana po ay naramdaman din po ninyo ang pagmamahal ng ating mga fellow educators, mga Filipino educators. So let me read po the citation po. Republika ng Pilipinas, Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Services, DepEd Complex, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City. Award the Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is presented to Dr. Annabelle Sim, Professor, Author of from FINMA Education, for sharing her valuable knowledge as guest speaker during TechTalks for All Days, Daily Tales of Everyday People, webinar conducted by the ICTS Educational Technology Unit on the 29th of May 2021. Given this 29th day of May 2021 in DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, Philippines, with our OUA memo number 00-0421-0136, signed by our head of the ICTS EdTech Unit, Mr. Mark Anthony CC, our Director for the ICTS, Mr. Abraham Y.C. Abanil, and our Undersecretary for Administration, Mr. Alain Del B. Pascua. Congratulations po and thank you so much, Dr. Annabelle Sim. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat din sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much.
Thank you po, Dr. Sim.
Maraming salamat.
Okay, so maraming salamat po. Now, let's move naman po to our Mentimeter. So again, ang ating every week na activity, go to menti.com at ifa-flash po sa ating screen ang magiging code natin for today. So, para po sa araw na to, Sir PJ, ang tanong ay, what do I think of 2020? So, ikaw, Sir PJ, ano bang naiisip mo? Pag narinig mo yung year 2020, ano ba yung mga words na pumapasok sa isip mo?
Okay, very, very good and very, very challenging. Nakakatawa nga. Nung sinabi mo yung 2020, nagkaroon na agad ako ng anxiety. Nagkaroon ako ng PTSD, di ba? Kasi talaga, just to be honest with all of you, yung 2020 was very, very challenging for me. Okay, number one, kasi isa po akong entrepreneur, Teacher Mardy. Meron po akong mga restaurants. And alam naman po natin, wala naman pong exempted dito eh. Tinamaan po talaga yung mga restaurants ko, di ba? From being a dine-in na design concept na restaurant, naging purely 100% delivery kami. And every day, we fear the threat of COVID-19 sa mga customers namin, sa mga suppliers namin, sa mismong empleyado namin, sa mga management team namin. So yun, talagang tinamaan kami doon. At number two, of course, bilang isang host, di ba, Teacher Mardy, bilang isang teacher, sanay tayo sa face-to-face. Sanay tayo sa mga big crowds, and then suddenly, biglang wala na ang lahat ng yon. So ang 2020 for me is a challenge. Pero dahil sa challenge na yon, nag-level up ako, 'di ba? Kumbaga sinasabi nila kapag ka nape-pressure ka ng konti, actually pinatitigas ka nun pinatitibay ka nun, 'di ba? Kapag ang diamond hindi naman daw po na nabubuo yan ng basta-basta. With so much pressure nabubuo ang diamond. So ganoon din po para sa akin yan. Challenge, pressure, and then level up ang aking 2020, Teacher Mardy. At kayo naman po, ano naman po ang pumapasok sa utak nyo pag sinasabing 2020, Teacher Mardy?
Ako personally, 2020, minsan talagang a minute na bablanko ako. Ang hirap hugutin.
Mhm.
2020, parang, okay, dito muna ako ha, moment of silence. So kasi parang literal, naging moment of silence siya para sa ating lahat. Nasabi nga, delete 2020, di ba? Parang, or restart 2020. Pero totoo po yan, restart 2020. Kasi, di ba lahat ng bagay na alam natin prior to the pandemic, lahat yan, kailangan nating i-restart. At kailangan nating siyang baguhin. So, yung mga nakagawian natin na physical, lahat naging online. Yung mga
Yun.
dating, G na tayo, let's go na. Wala. Walang ganon. Di na pwede yung on the spot, lalabas kayo ng mga friends mo or magro-road trip, di ba? Or kung gusto mo lang pumunta sa bahay ng kamag-anak or ng friends, pwedeng-pwede. Pero lahat yun, nawala nung 2020. Ayan, Sir PJ, may mga
Opo.
sumagot na po sa ating
Ayun,
2020 na menti.com. So,
Tama
gusto
po.
niyo po
Sinabi nyo nga po kanina, di ba, dati G na G tayong lahat, tapos biglang naging Scoobs, di ba? Sabi nga ng mga Gen Z ngayon, Scoobs, ibig sabihin, Dane tuloy ang mga lakad, so hindi tayo G. So, ngayon po, nakikita natin ang comments po ng ating mga kaibigan dito na nanonood live. Teacher Mardy, karamihan sa kanila, pag sinabing 2020, new normal. O, di ba? At ang sabi naman, challenges, successes, new beginnings, new life, of course, pandemic, and innovation. Kayo, ano yung nag-resonate sa inyo dyan, Teacher Mardy?
Ayan, gusto ko yung sinasabi dito na resilience. Kasi lahat naman talaga tayo nasubok kung paano maging resilient sa napakadaming bagay. And yung sinabi na year, kasi napakadami ng year of change, year of beginning, year of new normal. So tamang-tama yung word na year na yan sa ating Mentimeter. At saka yung modular mode. Kasi nga hindi naman lahat online, no? Lahat naman talagang nagbo-modular. So isa pa
Tama.
yan sa napakaganda.
Tama po.
Kayo, Sir PJ.
Ay, yun resonate talaga sa akin yung mga nakasulat na innovation, challenges, and new beginnings as well. Kasi nga, di ba, nabanggit mo kanina, yung 2020, di ba, parang cancel 2020, delete 2020. Yung tipong tanggalin na natin, hindi natin isasama yon. Kung nag-birthday daw kayo ng 2020, hindi raw counted yon, no? Di ba? So, ngayon po, extra challenging daw po sa mga single sapagkat hindi raw sila makalabas, hindi raw sila makapag-socialize to get to know people. O, di ba? Marami rin naman mga estudyante natin, nakakadalawang summer na hindi naman nila ma-maximize yung summer vacation nila. So, anong sinasabi natin dito kailangan masanay tayo at mukhang 'di ba itong pandemyang ito sakalam. Teacher Mardy, medyo pangmalakasan, medyo it's here to stay, no? At hopefully hindi naman ganoon at na makakapag-adjust naman tayo to a better normal as things progress, di ba? So Teacher Mardy, nagsisipasukan pa rin po ang mga comments ng ating mga participants. Ano pa po mga nakaka-relate kayo dyan, Teacher Mardy?
Gusto ko 'to yung mga health conscious. Totoo naman 'no, lahat po talaga tayo mas naging health conscious, mas naging mindful hindi lang sa ating physical health, but most especially sa ating mental health, 'di ba? Sabi nga po kanina ni Dr. Sim, hindi yan dati nafo-focus, pero ngayong naging pandemic dahil nasa bahay lang tayo, now more than ever mas nagkaroon tayo ng awareness para dun sa mga bagay na dati akala natin, okay lang yan, sabihan mo kaya mo yan, tapos na, tama na. Pero yun pala hindi. Dapat siniseryoso rin natin yung ating mental health. Kasi yan ang pinakamalaking bagay para ma-influence natin yung pagiging healthy natin as a person. Ayan, di
Tama
ba?
yun. At saka ito may natutuwa ako dito given na summer tayo ngayon, may nakasulat pa dito, balik alindog ay, o di ba? Humanda kayo sa aking post-pandemic body, o di ba? Sa aking post-lockdown na outfit at fashion. So they are taking this time daw to better themselves in and out, o di ba? So kung tama yung sinasabi nyo, hindi lang yung panglabas na itsura, kundi yung ano mo, yung wholeness mo mentally and emotionally, Teacher Mardy. Ayun, no, di ba?
Totoo.
Mm.
Oh. Ay, gusto ko rin 'to, Sir PJ,
Mm.
renewal. Oh, 'di
Renew
ba,
oh,
renewal.
mm.
Napaka-powerful niyan na lahat ng natutunan mo, binago mo sa sarili mo. Yung habits mo, tapos yung routine mo,
Mm.
tapos yung renewal mo sa iyong commitment as an educator. Nanibago ng 2020, 'di ba? Sabi
Tama,
nga 'di ba
tama.
si Dr. Sim dapat magre-retire na siya, pero
Mhm.
na-realize niya now it's not yet the time. Now it's the
Tama.
time for renewal and more learning. Sabi nga po dito,
Yes.
more learnings for the year of 2020.
Mhm. Tama, tama. At sinabi nga po dito ni Miss Marites Noches Ariola, ginagawa ko po yun, ma'am, yung tinatawagan daw po. Kasi may case daw po na hindi pinapansin yung calls ko. Kaya nag-PPM ako, kinukulit ko talaga yung bata para magpasa ng activities. Talagang going the extra mile. Hindi naman kasama yan no? Sa initial na objectives ng isang teacher. Pero of course, ang iniisip naman natin dito, yung kapakanan ng mga estudyante. At ito nga po may katanungan, and this is very, very valid, no, Teacher Mardy. Paano daw po ang gagawin nila kapag yung magulang daw po mismo ang sumuko sa pag-aaral ng bata? 'Di ba? Syempre, of course, may mga challenges na gano'n na hindi ko maturuan yung anak ko dahil ako mismo hindi ko natutunan 'yan, 'di ba? So nagiging extra challenge. So it is something for us to think about at kung meron po kayong best practices, mga fellow educators and teachers, please keep them coming po sa ating comment section. Ayan, Teacher Mardy. At po, ang tanong ko naman sa inyo, ano yung mga adjustments na ginawa nyo nitong 2020 onwards sa inyong lifestyle at sa inyong work, Teacher Mardy?
Ang nagawa ko, alam mo sir, yung talagang mas maging conscious ako sa aking work habits.
Yun, okay.
Kasi dati parang okey lang bugbog sarado sa work, kaya
Mm.
yan, tulog lang ang kailangan niyan. Pero ngayon na-realize ko na medyo tumatanda na rin ako, kailangan talaga mas maging mindful ako, mas mag-exercise, na in
Uy.
between talaga na buong araw na nakaupo ka, lalo na hindi ka masyadong active and mobile ngayon, kailangan take it a point na mas maging conscious ka sa pagtayo, pag-stretch. Kasi siyempre nga kahit ergonomic chair ka at
Mhm.
komportable ka sa iyong workspace, iba pa rin yung talagang tumatayo ka, na conscious ka, na maglakad-lakad ng onte at mag-stretch-stretch. Kasi
Amen.
nag-start kong ma-realize yan kasi sumasakit yung likod ko, as in sobrang sakit ng likod ko. So talagang tumatanda na po talaga ako.
'Di ba? Oo nga, tumanda tayong lahat itong 2020 onwards. And before we move forward with our program, Teacher Mardy, sabi ni Ami Ponce, pa-shoutout daw po from Calamba, Laguna. So ito na, Ami Ponce from Calamba, Laguna. Welcome po at sana po nag-enjoy kayo ngayong morning na ito. At sabi naman po ni Marilu Morta, 2020 is the time for us to realize that the old self is about to change and embrace what God has given us. It is 2020 that God allowed us to renovate ourselves mentally. Ang ganda nun i-renovate to fix ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It is very clear that God has a message for us to learn. At ang sabi naman ni Rosalinda Pabia, Teacher Mardy, ay 2020 raw is extra challenging for my age. It's really a time for a change, big adjustments that I need to know different ways and applications to cope with the new techniques in teaching and learning processes. Kailangang malaman na dapat malaman kailangan malaman ang mga dapat malaman using gadgets. So talagang nagle-level up and I really admire the heart and resilience nito mga teachers natin. Hindi para sa kanila, kundi para sa mga estudyanteng tinuturuan nila, Teacher Mardy.
Yan, tama ka po dyan. At dahil dyan, dan po muna natin tatapusan ang ating Menti para sa session na ito. Don't worry, meron pa po tayong isang round ng Menti later. Pero for now, Sir PJ, gusto ko pong tawagin ulit ang ating master trainer para sa ating Microsoft DigiTools, always sharing her expertise on how we could maximize the use of available tools and resources. An experienced educator in Singapore Learning System or Desired Outcomes Education, progressive curriculum, the Montessori method, special education, and communicative approach, and international school setting. She taught in early years and secondary level. Once a teacher, always a teacher. Ang nag-iisang Teacher Debbie. Teacher Debbie!
Hi, good morning, Sir PJ and Teacher Marty. Thank you for that introduction. Yeah, good morning. And before I share my screen, yeah, let me know if I could proceed.
Yes, bago
Yeah.
ka po mag-start, gusto lang po namin malaman, ano po ba ang DigiTools natin for today?
So for today, we have 3 apps. So they really need to listen well, but don't worry, the 3 apps that I'll be showing, all teachers can relate with this. And i-connect ko din po sa unang speaker natin, sa Mentimeter nyo po, sa mga comments din po. So stay tuned and I'll give all the details when I proceed with my demo.
Okay, Teacher Debbie, take it away!
Okay. So before I dive into hi teachers, before I dive into my demo and before I share my screen, just a disclaimer that if you really want to familiarize yourself, syempre po, you have to integrate these 3 apps. No? So, saan po natin i-integrate? In your lesson plan. Going back, Dr. Sim talked about transitioning. And I was also like a physical school teacher before. And yung big adjustments coming from the comments here na ang hirap talaga. So I want to go back to our roots as a teacher. Lagi natin sinisimulan sa lesson plan. So when you're creating your objectives, listing lesson references, and dapat po sana maging part na yung new technology, new tools that we learn from TechTalks, hopefully, na magamit nyo because you'll only appreciate these apps if you are using it firsthand when you're teaching. For example po, pag pinag-uusapan nyo na sa class, part na siya ng chemistry nyo, ng classroom management nyo sa students nyo, right? So Dr. Sim, the first speaker, talked about transitioning from physical class to online learning. And then our host, Miss Mordy, said a takeaway from Dr. Sim's example na yung acceptance on our sides as teachers. And we have to let the students know na andito tayo for them, that we will help them. So after accepting this new normal, we need to have action plans. Look for new resources, which is right now technology. Right. So being that said, I'm going to share now my screen and talk about going back. I will continue Microsoft Stream. So from last Saturday's DigiTool session po ito. So after Microsoft Stream, it will be followed by Microsoft To Do. And lastly, Microsoft Planner. So now what is Microsoft Stream again for new viewers? So Microsoft Stream again is Microsoft's answer to video content. So essentially its own YouTube and it's only within Microsoft 365. So it's private within your organization, not like YouTube na public platform. So here you can share your video content within your organization and give different people permissions. When I say people, these are the faculty members and these are the students. So here we are again in Microsoft Stream. And to continue our discussion last Saturday, if you're a Tech Talks follower, then you'll remember we created a STEM study group. And I chose the Earth Science video introduction. No? So we intended to post that in Stream. So to dive even more, let's upload the video. So here are the tabs. I've mentioned it previously, last Saturday. So click Create Now, and then upload the video. Okay, so when you click on it, here you can drag file, one file or more. You can browse and upload. You can choose from your PC to upload it. And of course, this takes time. This takes time, teachers. So I've already have videos here ready, so I can show you. So example, what I'm gonna create now is like another group or another set of videos. Okay, so right now I want to create creatives group. Art naman po. Last Saturday, we focus sa STEM. So how about the other programs, other courses? Arts, importante din po to para sa learners natin. So my first video here, I have a piano lesson. This is a real assignment from a student. Don't worry about the content. This is actually my nephew and niece. I borrowed their assignment na pinasa naman nila sa school nila. So this is what's happening. Nagvi-video na yung mga estudyante for them to pass sa teachers nila. And paano po natin magagamit si Microsoft Stream? Right? We created a group and I'll show you that later as well. So here is where you can upload. So when you upload po, lalabas na po yung panel where we have details. So under the details, what do we have? The name. So you can name it. And you can put a description for the video. Choose the video language. I've chosen English. And here is the important part of Microsoft Stream, the permissions and options. If you see the first one, allow everyone in your company to view this video, I ticked it because of course I wanna connect within my organization. When I say organization, you want to connect with your school, right? Yung main purpose nito is where you can create group and channels. So where do you want to share it with? Click the drop-down arrow, share with people. You can search for specific people, co-teachers, siguro po part ng committee nyo or part ng group. Or you can add your students here, of course, so they can see the content. And channels. Easier pag meron pong channel na. For example, yung channel po natin last weekend, which is STEM, right? So later, gagawa naman po tayo ng channel for art. What else? Groups. Pwede din po tayong gawa ng another group for arts program, for the creatives program. Okay? And for the viewers, so here you can add like any group. Yun po yung may share with, yun po yung una nating ginawa, yung sa share with option. Si group, si channels, and person. Yun po yung viewers ng ating channels. Okay? And then you'll see them down here. So since this is just a demo group and demo channel, wala naman po talaga akong real students right now. But when you do it on your own, you'll get a hold of it quickly. May intindihan nyo naman po. And may kita nyo yung mga viewers and yung mga students nyo within Microsoft 365. Okay? So now, after we have discussed options and permissions, I also have prepared another video. Cooking video naman po siya. Another assignment ng totoong estudyante. So, you see, hindi lang po isang video yung kayang i-upload sa stream at one time. You can upload multiple videos the same time and just wait for it to load. So, niready ko lang po yan. And now, what I'm gonna do is, let's create a group. Okay? Another group. So, here po sa my content, you'll see yung existing groups nyo na po. This is either from teams that you have already. And ito po yung ginawa natin last weekend, STEM study group. And now, I want to create arts. Yun po yung focus natin. Okay. So, create a group. Let me log in again to continue. Okay. So, create a group. And then type in. Okay, and then click this one. Okay. All right. Edit. And please choose only approved members can see what's inside or anyone in your organization can see what's inside. I'll be choosing private po for now. So members lang po natin yung pwede. Okay? And then after that, For the email address, sorry, let's type in myself. Loading. Okay, so it's not working right now, so I'm sorry for that. But when you create a group, that's just how it's going to work. So let's discard that. And then let's go back to the STEM group. Okay, and let's view another video because I don't wanna use the other time for tech problems. So let's click on the Earth Science video that we've already uploaded from last weekend. And let's look at the options, like what can you do about this? So here you can share, you can click share. You can copy this and you can open or share it in maybe in your PowerPoint or in Teams or in your other websites. Okay, so there's a direct link to the video. That's how you can share it. What else can you do here? So for the email, you can directly email it or you can embed it. And when you go back here, you can click start at any part po ng video, you can start it. So for example, I want to copy it. Copy the link. Okay. And then let's go to Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay. So go to your Office 365 and create a new presentation. Go to PowerPoint, create a new presentation, and then insert. If for example po gusto nyo siyang gawin or i-include na sa presentation nyo. So from stream video to online video, insert and then paste here. Wait for it to load. Click insert. And this is how your video will look like. Okay, so naka-insert na po siya directly dito sa ating PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so that's how you can quickly connect Stream to PowerPoint. What else can we do? Going back to Stream, we can also like it, or yung mga students nyo po, pwede naman silang i-like. Pwede din nilang i-add sa watch list nila. And for more actions, click the ellipsis, and you can link this to any of your group or any of your channels. Okay, so there you go. What else? You can also update video details. For example, when you click that, may gusto po tayong palitan, maybe details of the video like name. And don't worry, when you edit this, when you edit the details, yung link po na shinare natin, na kinapi nyo, maybe na-share nyo na po sa ibang platforms, hindi po yun mapapalitan. Okay, so you can always edit the details, but the link will still be the same. How about permissions? If you want to share it with more groups, you can still add more groups. And then for the options, comments on, we want that engagement from our students. Noise suppression, it depends on your, if it's supported by the video. Captions, it could be turned on if you need it. Most likely, hindi naman po kailangan. And what else can we do here? You can still change the thumbnail. Kung saan niyo po gusto mag-focus yung video, you can still change it here. If nakalimutan po natin ng unang time na in-upload natin siya. Okay? And going back, when you look at the right-hand side, madami pa po tayong pwedeng gawin. We can download a video. Okay? Kung gusto niyo po siyang gamitin in the future, like other references, you can still replace the video. When you click replace video, it will prompt into like another browser kung saan nyo po kukunin yung video. And the link again will still be the same. Kahit palitan nyo po yung video content, yung link na shinare natin, hindi po yun mawawala. If you want to delete it now, you can still delete it. Okay, so let's just click on apply for it. And what else do we have? Here naman po sa gilid, sa right-hand side po natin, meron pa pong other options like hide transcript. For example po, yung video natin may nagsasalita, lalabas po dito sa gilid yung transcript. Or you can change it to theater mode. Okay? Something like that po. So let's go to the transcript again. Exit theater mode. And you'll see, since wala naman po tayong transcript, hindi naman po may narrative, walang narrative yung video natin. What can we do here is add form. Okay? What is add form? So for example po, you want to know if your students are learning in a certain video. Not specifically this, but just an example. You want to check if your students are still learning. And you want to have an interactive form, like quick quiz lang naman, a quick survey. So you can connect Microsoft Stream to Microsoft Forms. Nagamit nyo na po ba yung Microsoft Forms? So, paano po? What if Teacher Debbie, first time ko, I don't know yet what is Microsoft Forms. Wala akong template, wala pa pang URL kasi sabi dito, paste URL here. Well, don't worry about that because you see right here, click on it, and it will directly lead you to Microsoft Forms. And we can create new quiz or new form. Okay, so click new form or new quiz. And then let's type in. Okay, so for example, title is Earth Science Introduction Video. Earth Science introduction video for the title, and for the description, please let us know. Please let us know how much you are learning. Something like that. And what would be the question? How will you create a question? So add new, and then click po natin yung choice. Since quick lang naman siya kasi introductory video, click po muna natin yung choice. But there are a lot of options here that you can explore. I'll click choice, and my question will be, do you like this video? Because when you post something for the first time, gusto naman po natin malaman na gusto kaya ni student to, nakaka-relate kaya si student, ano kaya yung thoughts nila. So yun po yung introduction natin lagi. Gusto kaya nila. So question is, do you like this video? Okay. So option is, they can choose yes, no, add an option, maybe, kung hindi pa sila sigurado. So we have option yes, no, or maybe. And gusto ko po required. We don't want them to feel na hindi naman importante yung responses nila. So as a teacher, please require them to answer. So toggle on required. And after that, you can also go here and change the theme. For example, okay, let's use this. Okay. And now we have a new background. Okay. For the responses, later po makikita natin yun, but right now, 0 pa. So this is just a quick form that I wanted to connect, or you can connect, right? Okay. And then, how do we connect that? Click share. And ito na po yung URL na pwede nating i-paste sa stream. So copy, go back to stream, paste URL here. Okay? And saan ko gusto lumabas yung form? For example po, sa pag-upload nyo ng video, meron kayong specific time doon na gusto nyo doon makakat, doon papasok yung video. Right? So let's just move it here sa false. Okay, so na-move na po natin kung saan papasok si form. Yung time po is sa 13 seconds. Makita po natin yon. And then, you can choose name for your form. I'll just put on info. And then click add to timeline. Okay, so now, dito po sa interactivity panel natin, makikita na natin yung forms inserted. how to double check. Yes, nakita na natin sa side panel, pero nasan po siya sa video? Nakikita niyo po itong like small black dot right here. So when you move it, you'll see napapasok na po dito si forms. There you go. So andito na po yung forms na ginawa natin, and your students or your other co-teachers can choose the answer. Yes, no, or maybe. Okay, of course, yes. We like this video. And then click on continue to video. Okay, and if you want to check the response for it, let's see if meron na or if it has been recorded. So right now, hindi pa po siya real time na na-record. But don't worry, after you go back to it, maybe just give it like more time. But right now, it's not yet showing, but you'll see the response here. Okay, so dito po siya lalabas. And you can open it in Excel. Right? So that's it for Stream connecting to forms. Okay, so what else? We've talked about a PowerPoint and insert and then online video. How about creating a channel? So dito po sa create a channel, okay, let's try again the arts channel. Okay, and then saan ko po siya gustong ilagay na group. Okay, so let's look for my other groups in Teams. Pwede ko siyang ilagay. So for now, since hindi po tayo nakaka-create a while ago ng art group, I'll just use this study group na na-create na po natin sa STEM just to show you. Okay, and then click on this. Okay, create. Okay, so for example, this is our channel already. And yung mga uploaded po nating videos, gusto na natin siyang i-publish. So the piano lesson and the cooking, paano niyo po malalaman if it's ready? You'll see here, processing complete. And then just click on publish. Okay, so there. Click on publish. Okay, and if your channel is ready, for example, na-capture na po yung arts channel natin. For example, here, meron na po, lumabas na siya. So click on arts. Tick. Pwede po silang owner, pwedeng hindi. So ang owner lang po right now is me. So you can review the options. Okay. Check always permissions and options. Okay. And for the thumbnail, if you still want to edit it, you can before niyo po i-publish. And now, publish na po natin siya. So when you want to check, for example, one of you cooking with Wes, publish na siya. You want to check the video, click on it. And you'll see the video right here. And since this video is like a tutorial for cooking setup, part ng assignment nila sa school, makikita po natin dito sa gilid yung transcript na sinasabi ko po a while ago na pag meron naman nagsasalita, may narrative, lalabas po siya automatically sa ating transcript. Okay, so nandito po siya and you can edit the transcript. You can enable auto-scroll. That's what you can do. And same po yung options natin below. So you can still share it, email, embed. Very important naman po yun sa stream, how you will share it. Alright? Okay. And for dito naman po sa lower side, if you're wondering, ano po ito? Ito po yung mga videos na po natin that we have in our content page. So these are the trending videos. Lalabas din po dito yung other videos na share sa community natin, like within your community, those videos. And these are the uploaded videos from your end. So here, you can organize by creating a channel, creating a group, and within that, for example, sa art channel natin, dun po lang ipopost nyo and your students. You can give them permission to upload. So there, they can upload all of their assignments, or you can do it on your own kayo na po yung magko-collect, ilalagay nyo siya sa channel nyo, and invite your students in, and you'll have your own engagements here, like comments and all of that with all of your teachers. Okay, so that's how you can publish a video. So before we go back to our homepage, yeah, and before we, what else? Before I tackle other options that we can do in stream, na I hope helpful din po. If you've ever tried or if you've ever needed to record screen or video, meron din po tayo nun. So, record screen or video, click on it. Okay? And lalabas na po yung option na ito. So, if you want to record screen, your desktop, or you can choose a window, and you yourself pag naka-open na po yung camera nyo. Okay? So, before you do that, click po muna natin kung anong camera will you be using. Kung meron kayong internal or external camera. And then, we have microphone. Double check that. Screen, camera. When it's all ready, start recording. And here you can see that what do I want to record? Do I want window? Do I want the entire screen? So for example, I also want to share my audio. So click share. Okay. And wait for it. So meron po tayong 15 minutes dito. So you can switch to like a window to record, and mare-record po yun ng screen natin. Okay? So 15 minutes lang po. So maybe you have a quick announcement for one of your groups, for one of your channels, or meron kayong gustong i-congratulate or anything that this can be used to. Yun po yung mga example. Meron kayong announcements or meron kayong special mention. Maybe someone did a good job from your students' end or anything like that. So to stop, just click on pause a while ago and then next. And makikita na po natin dito yung video. So, and po, pwede nyo pa rin po siyang i-edit if you've had mistakes, and nung nag-switch na po tayo ng mga tabs, lumabas na din siya dito sa video. Okay? So, what do you want to do with this? You can upload it to stream. Okay? Change the name. When you've uploaded, change the name, the sample. Pick if you want to allow everyone in your company in this video or not. Okay? And then just publish it. You can also save the video file if you needed to. Right? Very convenient po siya. Pwede na kayo mag-direct dito. Alright? So, yun po yung record screen. Okay? So, I won't publish that anymore. I just wanted to show you. So, that's it for Microsoft Stream. The content, the groups, the channels, that's how you can manage groups and channels for different programs under your school's department. And this is, again, within Microsoft 365 lang po. All right? So now I'm going to discuss Microsoft To Do. Okay? So how do you access Microsoft To Do? You go to Office 365 and look for Microsoft To Do. If you haven't used it before, click All Apps and then search for it. Okay, so for example po, nandito na tayo. And Microsoft To Do naman po is like a daily task organizer. So for example, my scenario right here is when I was still teaching in a school setting, I always start with lesson planning, right? So you can add your task here. I always start with lesson planning. Kayo din po, for sure, you always start with lesson planning, right? And what else? You prepare class materials. So ngayon, virtual na po tayo. So comment down below, what are the tasks na naiisip nyo? Because Microsoft Task To Do or To Do can help you with that. So comment down below, ano po yung mga daily task nyo na baka meron kayong important task na priority nyo. You can share it in the comments down here. So, going back, ang routine po ng isang teacher is lesson plan checking. Pagpasok na pagpasok niyan sa school or sa virtual classroom na ngayon. Pag in niya, lesson plan checking, prepare the class materials, and you all, as a teacher, you always check parents' messages. Baka may tardy or merong, like tardy or late notification. Pwede ding absent notification. What else? You prepare prepare the classroom school setting. Sabi niya, may nag-comment dito, sorting modules. Yes. So that's part of preparing class material. So thank you, Miss Liberty Careon. What else? So let's say natapos na po yung class natin. Right now, we need attendance lists, and we just download it compared to physical school. So now we download attendance list, we update student progress notes. Next is send out deliverables and prepare assessment. So what do you want to do with Microsoft To Do? For example po, una kong ipapakita is adding steps to a task or repeating task. Example ko po dito, quiz. Maybe you create a quiz repeatedly, of course, because that's part of assessment. So example, I made like TechTalks quiz, and yung due date ko po na ilalagay is I can pick a date. Due date po niyan maybe every Tuesday. Okay, then save it. And kailan ko po gusto i-repeat? For example, kayo po, kailan nyo gusto siyang i-repeat? Like a reminder for you, monthly, weekly, weekdays, daily. For quizzes, for something like this, example ko is weekly. So this is a Tech Talks quiz. And then you can pick a category for sorting. Maybe preferred nyo po yun for visuals. So click on blue. And you can add the file if you have a rubric metrics or template that you're currently following already, and binabago-bago nyo na lang po siya depende sa content ng subject nyo. Right? So that is how you can repeat like a task. Okay? So there you go. Now, how about adding steps to a task? Ano pong magandang example dito sa task list natin when adding steps? Hindi po ba si lesson planning? Right? Kasi sa lesson planning, ano pong mga steps natin then? You have to draft. Well, depende po sa like how you do it and ano yung form ng school nyo sa lesson plan, because different schools, different templates when it comes to lesson planning. But when I do before my lesson plan, I draft a mind map, right? And then, after po nun, anong gagawin nyo? You think of your lesson topic, right? It could be from the module itself already, sa curriculum. And then you add lesson objectives. Okay? After that, it continues and continues to like branching out topics or specify a module, and then you add references. So those are the samples how you can add steps in Microsoft To Do. Okay? And then, kanina po yung options natin, pwede nyo pa rin po siyang i-tick. Right? So that's for adding steps. And what else? How about gusto po natin i-plug yung email to create a task, right? Pwede din po, like for example, let's go to my inbox, okay? And I want this to be flagged. Okay, so click on the ellipsis and flag an important email kasi gusto ko siyang balikan. Maybe like an important meeting, gusto ko maalala, and I always check my to-do. So when you go back to to-do, nandito na po siya sa flagged email. Okay, so that's another reminder. What else? Dito po sa left-hand side natin, we have like a group list, pero hindi pa po siya nasa isang group. And paano po gusto natin mas organized tingnan? So we have a group list here. Create a group. How? So nakikita natin dito, pare-pareho naman po siya na pwede na lang sabihin natin stream content, right? So click on create a group. Title it, stream content. Okay. Okay. And then drag and drop the different list here. Okay, dito po sa stream content natin. Okay, open it and then just drag it here. Okay, there you go. And ngayon, pwede ko na po siyang i-expand or not. So, for better viewing po. Okay, so what else naman po to help you with your task? Dito po sa My Day, okay, close ko po muna to. Yeah. You'll see suggestions. And this is Microsoft's to-do list, like smart list na feel niya po is tasks that seem important, like this, listed na po ano yung tingin niya na mas important. And then for earlier and then recently added, nandito po siya sa suggestions. So you can always have this as a smart list to help you organize more. Okay. What else? Na connected po siya sa calendar, so you can go to your calendar. Okay. So you can go here. And if you need another like checking and all that, you can. But paano po nahanap ni Microsoft to do? Okay. So you click on this and double check. Okay. This one. Okay. Dismiss all. And then if you see this is My Day. Click on My Day and then click to do. So sa Outlook po natin, if pumunta po kayo sa calendar and you go to Outlook, you'll see My Day and you just click it and lalabas po si to do natin. So meron din po tayo dyang quick way to view kung nandito po kayo sa Outlook or calendar view. Right? So that's it po for Microsoft to do. So those are the ways that you can use it sa daily task po natin. Again, daily task. Right? So after po ng daily task natin as teachers, napakita ko na po sa inyo kung paano nyo ma-organize yung task nyo in a day as an individual. Paano naman po if you have like a big project, right? So dito po papasok yung last nating tool, which is Microsoft Planner. Okay. Okay. So for Microsoft Planner po, you can always go to 365 back again, like how we did to do, and search for Planner. And then it will prompt you to this hub. This is called the Planner hub. And ang example po natin dito is, I think of culminating activity. Comment down below how you call that in your schools. But culminating activity po is, we do this per term, per quarter, per semester, depending po sa school calendar niyo po. So in my school before, when I was teaching, we do it per term. So we have 3 terms in a school year. So every 3 months, we have a culminating activity. Sa culminating activity, yun po yung end ng like a specific program po ng department nyo. And the parents are invited here. So this is like a big deal for teachers. And we prepare this 2 months ahead. Not even 2 months ahead eh. Kasi sa first nyo pa lang po na pag-create ng lesson plan is meron na kayong iniisip for culminating activity. This is where you synthesize everything, like to end it and showcase. Dito na showcase lahat ng students nyo, like, lahat ng modules ng students nyo ay natutunan nila. So we call it culminating activity. So this is my example for today. We're going to plan a culminating activity and I'll show you how Planner can help you with that. Right? So for Microsoft Planner, what it is you can track the task and projects of your team. So kung meron kayong specific committee for the culminating activity that you work with, then dito nyo po siya pwedeng gawin and matatrack nyo po yung isa't isa. Kasi pwede po kayo dito mag-assign. So whoever the lead is, for example, you want to track everybody, then you can assign it here. Right? So ngayon po, we'll think of like a new plan when you create it. Think of it as like a new project. Okay, so click on it and click the privacy and then the options, something like that, and it will show it to this one. So what is the plan? Okay, so when we say plan, it involves like different tasks, like smaller tasks. And here, you can give your plan name, the project name, and if ikaw po yung responsible dun sa new project, then you can go ahead and add yourself and add other people. Okay? So if you're looking for a creative, like collaborative, easy, like task management software, so Planner will work for you. So discuss na po natin yung makikita natin dito. Okay? Makikita po natin dito na may add new bucket. Si bucket po is like a mini card. So dun po sa mini card na yon is sample here. My first task under project info was the program flow. When you're creating a culminating activity, my program flow, and that's what you need to do, right? So for program flow, click on it. And I have an example here na nag-add na po ako ng items. Like plan steps with your co-teachers, present, and if you're done with the testing of the concept, and if malito, like you can delete it. Okay? If you want to edit it, baka mali po yung una natin, so you just have to change it. And dito po sa assign to, after creating the bucket, the mini card, so assign to, choose the name of the people that you want to add. Para matrack nyo sila, you can create a label. So ngayon po ang nilabel ko is outline because the program flow, it includes outline. For the bucket, the project info, then you have choices here kung sang bucket nyo siya ilalagay. I've already included different buckets for it. Okay? And then checklist. So ano po bang una natin pagdating ng like creating a program flow, then you create objectives for it, right? And then you can add like the virtual location, the attire, the theme, and right now, for example, environmental awareness. Okay, so that's our culminating idea for today. Environmental awareness for our class. Yun yung i-showcase nila. So what else? Under culminating ideas, I've created another bucket here, which is culminating ideas. And yung unang task is activities. Again, you can assign specific person here. You can expand the list. And sa item, pwede po tayong mag-add ng item, pwede tayong mag-attach. Okay? And I can also put a note. For example, gusto ko po silang, like, my idea would be planting. Kasi pwede naman po gawin yan sa garden area ng mga estudyante natin. And gusto ko yung parents nila, with them will plant. They will plant together. And I want them to make a slogan. Activity lang po yan sa culminating. Make a slogan together. And sa notes, para makita po ng like committee head natin dito, yung taong naka-assign dito, I will put a comment na ask student and parent to present their slogan in 3 minutes. Okay? There you go. So that's the comments and click send. So when somebody reviews this, makikita niya yung notes niyo po. Okay? Let me close that. And what else can we do? You can always add tasks, like right here, and add a checklist. For example, sa culminating idea, kailangan natin ng communication letter to parents. Communication letter. Okay? Add task and then assign someone, anyone from your organization. So, communication letter. So, added task na po yan. And what if naunang natapos si communication letter and pinasa na sa superior natin, sa directors or head of faculty, this buckets right here, okay, you can always move it. For example, approved na siya. Done na. You can move it to the bucket area na, for example, I've created approved ideas. So everybody can check na, we're done with that. Okay? And for the implementation, you can move it again if it has been sent out to parents. So there's another way to organize it. You can move the buckets kung nasa na po siya. You can move the task kung nasa na siya. Okay? And how would you view it even better? Meron po tayong charts. May kita nyo yung status, may kita nyo po yung bucket, and the projects right here sa right side. Okay? So even better po for charts if you need this kind of visuals for your report. And for schedule, makikita nyo din po dito if kanina may pinili kayong options na meron po bang due date or not. Okay? And then for members, you'll see the members here. Or you can always filter by keyword. Ano yung mga due, ano yung priority, the progress, label, the buckets, and the assignments. Okay? And for the group by bucket, when you want to filter it more and to see it better, you can click assign to. Gusto nyo bang i-view by person? Gusto nyo bang i-view by progress? Sa due dates or yung labels po na for example, yung nilagay natin kanina outline. Okay? So that's it for like an example lang. I know na pinakamahirap yung culminating activities to plan. So I hope Microsoft Planner will help you. And these examples will give you an idea. So paano natin siya gagamitin. Okay? So that's it for Microsoft Planner. So you can use this in a virtual setting or if you go back to physical school setting. And yeah. So that's it for culminating activity for Microsoft Planner. This is just an idea. Comment down below kung ano po yung mga favorite culminating activities nyo na na-plan nyo na before or now dito sa new normal, right? Before kasi we always end the culminating activity like a shared meal together. So like food that are given by parents and they just bond together, okay? So to recap, I've showed you Microsoft Stream, Microsoft To Do, and Microsoft Planner, right? Okay. I stopped sharing my screen now, waiting for the
Yes.
host.
So
Thank you, Miss Debbie.
Teacher Debbie. Thank you sa
Thank you.
napaka-enriching na sharing and demo mo for today. So, dahil sa iyong napakagandang demonstration, meron na naman po tayong another round ng ating Microsoft Innovative Educator Code. So, please, ifa-flash namin yung code ngayon. So, that's T-FHAE34621. So, for sure, alam nyo na po kung paano log in sa inyong education.microsoft.com na accounts. And again, just click redeem achievement code at ito na yung code na kakailanganin nyo para sa MIE certificate. So again, madali lang po yung process. Just make sure na gamit nyo po ay Microsoft accounts or if you don't have yung Outlook account nyo para makapasok po kayo sa education.microsoft. So ayan na po, naka-flash na po siya sa inyong screen ang ating code. And also, if you click the next slide, meron tayong QR code para pwede nyo na lang siyang scan using your phones and it will redirect you dun sa mga instructions on how to redeem your certificate. So ayan, open nyo na yung mga phones nyo ngayon, scan it using the camera of your phones at para mas madali ang pag-redeem ng ating certificate. Ay, Sir PJ.
Yan po. Thank you po, Teacher Mardy. And thank you po, Teacher Debbie. Actually, marami po kayong mga fans dito. Sabi nga po ni Lala Esquivel, i-push na natin Teacher Debbie for Miss Universe 2021. Sobrang galing talaga. #Debbified. Diba? Biruin mong yun. Babawi tayo sa 2021 sa Miss Universe with Teacher Debbie. Tsaka, binabati ko po si Pinky de los Santos. Good morning daw po from Bagbagin. Galing po sa May Kawayan City, Bulacan. At meron din po dito si Margarita Eranjo ng SDO Navotas. Tapos ako po, personally, ang dami ko pong natutunan sa inyo, Teacher Debbie. May iba't iba palang platforms. Kasi of course, coming into this seminar, meron akong mga platforms in mind. Meron palang mga alternative and even better platforms. Lalong-lalo na doon sa no, sa pag-stream pala ng mga videos. Matry nga yan mamaya, o 'di ba?
So, kaya talagang napakalaking tulong nung every Saturday na session ni Teacher Debbie dahil every Saturday morning meron po siyang mga bagong Microsoft tools and features na ipinapakilala sa ating educators. Ito yung mga features and tools na readily available sa kanilang Microsoft accounts pero hindi natin namamalayan na marami pala tayong magagamit and matututunan
Mhm.
pa sa ating Microsoft account. So, simpleng login ka lang, yun pala marami ka ng access to the virtual world of digital tools.
Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, pwede pala natin i-maximize. So, all we have to do is tinker around. At ngayon po, Teacher Debbie, for example, kami po nilalaro na po namin to. Talagang ini-explore namin po yung iba't ibang possibilities. How can we contact you po? Kuwari may mga questions po kami, may mga comment.
How well, unfortunately, I don't have Facebook personal account, but maybe you can always comment down sa DepEd Tech Unit and they will be
Yon.
the one to connect with us na lang po. So, DepEd EdTech Unit na lang po or Microsoft. Yeah.
Ayun, okay. Paano naman po yung mga hashtag namin na Teacher Debbie for Miss Universe 2021? Hindi mo pala makikita kung gaano nagte-trending, o 'di ba?
Dito na lang po, sir. Abangan ko na lang po yung mga tech talks natin.
Yan.
So, sa
At
host na lang, sa magagaling na host.
Yan. At saka naabangan naman natin every Saturday si Teacher Debbie, di ba? So at least we can reach out pala to Teacher Debbie through yung mga platforms na sinabi po niya kanina. Ayun. Okay. Thank you po, Teacher Debbie. Ako po, personally, ang dami ko po natututunan. So maraming salamat po sa inyo. Okay po, moving forward tayo, Teacher Mardy.
Yes po. Again, open po your other browsers or your devices again at mag-login po tayo sa menti.com. Same code po tayo sa ginamit natin kanina at ang atin naman pong sasagutin ay yung mga lines na ito kung anong nafi-feel nyo. Do you agree, disagree? So kunyari, do you agree, disagree? I embrace the challenges of the new normal in teaching and learning. Or do I agree or disagree sa I am surprised by my resilience in adapting to virtual teaching? Or do you agree or disagree? I celebrate all stakeholders of education as we move forward to the challenges brought upon by the pandemic. So while waiting po sa ating screen na i-flash ang ating menti.com. Don't worry, open na po yan. Just again, log into menti.com at huwag niyo pong kakalimutan ang ating code 77969935. So piliin niyo na po ano po ba yung kumakatok sa inyong mga puso based sa mga notes na ito, based sa mga lines na ito. Kayo, Sir PJ, ano ba yung pinaka nag-eye catch sa'yo dyan?
Okay, ito yung I am surprised by my resilience actually, no? Kasi nga 'di ba sinasabi nila gaya nga nung nabanggit nyo kanina, Teacher Mardy, parang nafi-feel mo tumatanda ka. So kumbaga hindi tayo ganun ka-native sa pag adjust to the new normal, yung tipong 'di ba we are so used because we have been teaching for several years now, we have been so used using the existing platforms, tas biglang maya't maya kailangan tayo agad-agad 'di ba na mag-adjust. So ako po, I am personally surprised by my resilience. Kaya naman pala, 'di ba, na hindi na ako pupunta sa mismong physical location, pwede naman palang walang traffic, pwede naman palang hindi na naliligo, hindi pa nagtutoothbrush, magtatrabaho na. Joke. So yun po, ibig sabihin kaya natin mag-adjust. So ako po, I am surprised by my resilience in adapting to a virtual teaching method. So para sa akin po, very strongly agree. Nasa 5 po ako dyan para sa akin. Ito naman po, sige, tanong din po natin, Teacher Mardy. Kayo po, Teacher Debbie, sa palagay niyo po, ano po yung nagre-resonate sa'yo dyan at ano po yung score nyo, more or less?
To be honest, I was really like shy a bit when we adapted to virtual teaching. Siguro kasi mas feel ko na like physical school setting nung una po eh. So bagsak siguro ako dun sa like resilience kasi it took me like 6 months. It took me at least 6 months na, oh wow, virtual na pala to. And like the DJ tools right now, yeah, I appreciate it. And trust me, I also learned it nito na lang din po, like sabi niyo, Sir PJ, nito na lang din po nung like acceptance, nung inaccept ko na, nung in-embrace ko na yung challenges of new normal teaching because as you've seen sa bio note ko, like Montessori approach kami. And Montessori is
Tama.
physical. Like, touch
Tama. So ano po yung grade nyo dun sa sa
One.
surprise nyo by your resilience from 1 to 5?
1. Like 1 talaga, sir. So, I'm being honest.
Oh, yes. Thank you po for your candor. Okay, kayo naman po, Teacher Mardy, ano po yung nag-resonate sa inyo dyan?
Ako, ito talaga yung I celebrate all stakeholders of education as we move forward to the challenges brought upon by the pandemic. Kasi lahat tayo nag-step up. Hindi
Tama.
lang teachers, hindi lang yung mga school administrators, hindi lang din yung mga students, but most especially yung mga parents din. So may mga parents din talaga na kahit na pagod din sila sa kanilang work from home, talagang nag-move forward din sila para magkaroon ng time para matulungan din at masuportahan yung kanilang mga anak sa bahay, 'di ba? So lahat tayo talagang nag-step up and talagang nag-try ng ating makakaya para mag-move forward tayo dito sa
Tama.
pandemic na 'to.
Tama
Ayan.
po yan,
So,
Teacher Marty, di ba? Ultimo yung mga kapatid ng estudyante, ultimo yung mga lolo't lola ng estudyante naging involved na. So it takes a village pala, no, talaga, to educate a child. Oh yes, Teacher Marty, you were saying.
dahil dyan, more than 5 pa yan. 10 talaga, sir, 10. Para sa ating lahat ng mga stakeholders ng education, 10 tayo dyan. Lagpas-lagpasan.
Ayan, o, di ba? So talagang makikita natin, so far, ang lamang na lamang talaga yung embracing the challenges of the new normal in teaching and learning. And with that, babatiin ko po si Lala Esquivel. Sinasabi niya po na yung faculty raw po ng kanyang school, ng High and West ES, na kumpleto raw po all Saturdays of May. And I congratulate you for, so far, completing the last session for this whole month. So, congratulations po and keep it coming. Kasi marami pa po kaming mga programs every weekend, Miss Lala. Ayan. At si Jessie pong yan, watching from Brooks Point, Palawan. Naku ma'am, mag-ingat po kayo kasi pagkatapos itong pandemyang ito, makikitira ako sa bahay nyo, kakatok po ako sa gate nyo at makikibakasyon po ako dyan sa inyo.
Ayan. At dahil po dyan, Teacher Lala, ina-assure ko sa inyo, hindi pa po tayo nagtatapos sa May. So sa June, sana rin po, kompleto rin po ang inyong attendance sa ating Saturday sessions. Dahil hindi pa po tayo tapos, watch out for sa ating mga topics. Watch for our topics sa June. Kasi another round po yan ng interesting topics para sa ating TechTalks sessions every morning.
Ayan. Tama po yan. And with that, Teacher Mardy, we would like to get your comments dito po sa comment section. Isulat nyo rin po ano yung mga gusto nyong matutunan para baka yung sinabi nyo po, yung mga suggestion na po, yun po ang itatackle natin the next time. Kasi ulit, ang intention nito is para mag-level up tayo. Kasi nga, di ba, we have to embrace the challenges of the new normal. So, anong gusto nyong matutunan? Sige, nandito kami para at nakikinig kami at yun ang ituturo namin at i-share namin sa inyo the next time. Okay po, Teacher Mardy. And again, thank you, Teacher Debbie, for always being available to share your best practices, yung mga bago mong natatagpuan at sinishare mo sa amin. Para, lalong-lalo na po ngayon, Teacher Debbie, kasi 'di ba yung mga estudyante at mga educators, medyo may break sila ngayong summer. At it's the best time to tinker around sa kanilang mga tools na pwede nilang i-maximize, Teacher Debbie.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you for encouraging them, the educators, the students, to explore more of the tools. Sabi nyo nga, kung may time, right, and you have patience, please do so. As a teacher, makaka-help yun. And parents, kahit parents po, sir, and Teacher Mardy, right, need din natin ng support. Yeah.
Amen. Thank you po, Teacher Debbie. Yes, Teacher Mardy.
Ayan. Thank you po sa pag-participate sa ating menti.com. Siyempre, hindi lang po talaga kami yung nakaka-appreciate sa participation mo, Teacher Debbie. So may I call Teacher Rubelin para naman po i-award ang ating certificate sa ating speaker for today. Teacher Rubelin?
Ayan, isang mapagpala at magandang araw po. Ayan, so I'm so excited to award po the certificate to our very awesome speaker, right? No, ang galing-galing ni Miss Debbie. Sa comment box pa lang ang daming appreciation po sa inyo. At syempre po, Miss Debbie, matagal-tagal na din po kayo dito sa TechTalks. Yay!
Thank you, ma'am. Kayo din po, mas matagal na.
Yes. As of now, no, yung ipinakita niyo yung stream since last week, tapos yung to do at yung ano din po, yung planner. Yes. Very, ano po yon, very timely. So, with that, Miss Debbie, let me share my screen po for this token of appreciation in behalf of sana ba yun? So sorry. Okay, in behalf po ng sorry. Parang nagloko lang yung ano ko. Naghang siya. Alright. Ayan na. So, ayan. So, in behalf po of the Department of Education, ICTS, EdTech Unit, let me read the citation. Republika ng Pilipinas, Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Services, DepEd Complex, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City. Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Ms. Debbie Kalingasyon, Master Trainer of Adantis Technologies Incorporated, for sharing her valuable knowledge as guest speaker during Tech Talks for All Days, Daily Tales of Everyday People webinar conducted by the ICTS Educational Technology Unit on May 29, 2021. Given this 29th day of May 2021 in DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, Philippines, OUA Memo 0004210136. Signed by the head of ICTS ETU, Mark Anthony CC. Director 4 of ICTS, Abram YC Abanil, and Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Delby Pasqua. So once again, congratulations and thank you so much, Miss Debbie Kalingasyon. Let's give her a virtual applause.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sir BJ. Thank you, Teacher Mardy. Thank you.
Thank you po and welcome. And thank you rin po, Ms. Rubelin.
You're welcome po.
Ayan. And Teacher Rubelin, gusto niyo na rin po bang i-sabihin, i-announce yung ating pong survey for this day?
Ayan. Yes po, yung sa survey po natin, andyan no, sa ating banner. Alright? So, syempre po, punta po kayo muna sa yung HTTPS natin, tinyurl.com/techtalksmay29. So, madali lang pong tandaan. Diba? Tech Talks May 29. So, the day today is May 29. Please po, pakisagot po ng form na iyan. For our next webinars po, makikita po natin dyan para naman alam po namin kung ano pong kailangan talaga ng ating mga teachers o parents man kayo o students na sumusubaybay sa atin every Saturday morning. Ayan. Syempre po, yung ano naman sa certificate natin, ituloy ko na ba, Miss? Okay, let me share again my screen para klaro po. Kasi ano po ngayon last Saturday po, di ba? Last Saturday of May. Pasensya na, share ko kanina yung screen ko. Nandun na sana yon. Alright. Para mas malinaw, paano nga ba natin maklaim yung certificate po? Alright, so here. Okay. So, again po, nasa last Saturday na po tayo ng May. Kung alam ng lahat po, meron pa po tayong event this afternoon, yung sa My Tech Talks. At marami po kayong matutunan din mamayang hapon. Kasi one certificate lang po kasi tayo for a whole day, okay? For example po, ang una po natin gagawin, wag muna pong mag-focus sa slide ko. Siyempre po, gagawa po kayo ng account doon sa ating www.training www.deped.gov.ph. Nakikita nyo dyan sa, ano, di ba, sa banner, meron dyan. Yun po yung number 1. Okay, yun pong unang gagawin, lalo na sa first timer po. Gumawa po kayo ng account doon. Hindi po ito exclusive po sa nasa Department of Education. Kahit nasa private school kayo, as long as may email address po kayo, pwede po kayong mag-join sa ating mga training dito. So, yun pong number 1 talaga. Okay, gumawa ng account sa www.training.deped.gov.ph. At pag may account na po kayo doon, makikita nyo yung event natin doon sa My TechTalk. At syempre, ito po yung pinaka-importante. Kasi po kung isang Saturday lang po ang sasagutan ninyo o mag-attend kayo, syempre po, certificate of participation lang yung makukuha ninyo. Pero pag nakumpleto po yung, by the way, sa may 5 Saturdays pala tayo, hindi 4 ha, 5 Saturdays po ang kukompletohin ninyo. At pag nakumpleto na po ang, since last day ngayon, ito po yung gagawin ninyo. So, create your Wakelet accounts at https column/www.wakelet.com. O kayo ba, Sir PJ at Teacher Mardy, may Wakelet account na ba kayo? Kung wala pa, gawa na
Meron
po.
po.
Yes, meron na sila. Number 2, create a new collection and rename it to My TechTalk May Portfolio. Kasi isa lang po again, si TechTalk at si My TechTalk po. Whole day event po. 1 certificate lang po yun. Then save your selfie and so with screenshots of your certificates. Then number 4, share the link of that collection later in our PDLMS for you to get your certificate of recognition. So meron po kayong makukuhang certificate of recognition. Ayan, sana malinaw no yung step kasi marami pong nagtatanong, paano ba ma-claim yung certificate? By the way po, hindi po basta-basta makukuha yung certificate nag-join ka lang, nanood ka lang, tapos magkakaroon ka agad ng certificate. Hindi po. You need po to have your account. At yung mga ano po, kung hindi po kaya sa team live, huwag mag-alala kasi po recorded po ang mga webinar session natin. Meaning to say, pwede nating balik-balikan 24/7. Pag pumunta kayo doon sa ating professional development na learning management system or PDLMS, nandun po lahat. Yung mga videos na hindi nyo napanood in the past sessions or past episode ng May, andun po lahat. Tingnan nyo lang yung kabuuan ng video, tapos sagutan nyo yung mga pa-quiz doon, at syempre po, makukuha nyo na inyong Certificate of Recognition. Sana malinaw na po. Ayan. So, back to you, Sir PJ, Teacher Mardy.
Thank you po, Teacher Rubelin. Thank you po. We appreciate this. Okay, so just to remind all of you, tama nga naman, may 5 sessions tayo ngayong May. At hindi pa po natatapos yan kasi meron pa po this afternoon. Di ba? Akala nyo tapos na kayo, hindi pa, meron pa. At sa susunod na buwan ay meron pa yan. And in fact, mag-host pa rin kami nila Teacher Mardy. Kaya kung mamimiss nyo kami, tama po yung sinabi ni Miss Rubelin, pwede nyo pong i-replay yung episode na ito para hindi nyo kami masyado na-miss. At saka i-message nyo rin kami sa Facebook. Or di ba? Tapos, and next month ay makikita namin kayo at makakapag-interact ulit kami sa inyo. Okay po, Teacher Mardy?
Yan, tama. At meron nga po dito, sabi ni Teacher Jessie pong yan, sabi niya, thank you po sa mga webinar series niyo po, nagamit at na-apply ko sa aking virtual demonstration teaching, lalo na sa paggamit ng technology. So, nakakatuwa naman po at nakakataba ng puso na talagang nakakatulong tayo sa ating mga teachers and sa ating mga educators para mas lalo silang gumaling at mas lalo silang magkaroon ng engaging lesson sa kanilang mga estudyante.
Yan. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Okay po, messages, Teacher Debbie and Teacher Mardy, before we conclude this morning session?
Yeah, Teacher Debbie, you go first.
Okay, thank you. Happy weekend, and thank you everyone for giving time watching our webinars and exploring. Own time yun na kasi yun, nag-explore sila ng resources for their students, of course. Lahat yun para sa mga estudyante and para sa Pilipinas, sa education natin sa Pilipinas. So thank you so much, everybody.
Okay po.
Ayan.
And before I turn everything over to Teacher Mardy. Maraming pong salamat sa inyo. And tama po yung sinabi ni Teacher Debbie. Have a great weekend ahead. Sana po ina-enjoy nyo yung buong May natin at mas mag-i-enjoy pa po tayo ngayong June. And stand by for this afternoon's talk pa rin. Okay po. Thank you. I am PJ. Teacher Mardy?
At dahil po dyan, just a quick preview para po sa ating next session na ang topic po natin ay about digital assessment. So alam ko po kanina may nagtanong, paano po ba ang approach para po sa digital assessment? So ang ating speaker for next week ay magsasabi po siya ng kanyang mga naging experience. Isa rin po siyang educator na makakapag-share sa atin ng experience kung paano nila isinulong ang assessment sa kanilang online learning and teaching classes. So alam ko po hindi siya madali, lalo na sa panahon na ngayon. It's always a struggle for us educators, pero sabi nga po natin, huwag susuko, patuloy natin ang pag-asa at ituloy natin ang pag-enrich ng ating learning sa pandemic na ito. So same day, same time, hashtag TechTalks every Saturday 9 a.m. Huwag po natin kakalimutan yan. At maraming salamat po sa palaging pagpunta nyo at pagsubaybay sa amin. This is the end of our May series. Pero wag po kayong mawawala dahil next month, mas madami pa po kaming isi-share sa inyo. Have a good weekend po!
Everyone!